Ever since I've switched to Schaeffer's oil, I've never had a reason to even try anything else. And that's one thing that I'm proud about, is the fact that I can't tell you how good something else is, because I know how good Schaeffer's oil is. My engine builders, Tony and Glenn Clements, have said about the oil we run. They've told us that out of all the motors that they get and rebuild every year, ours looks the best, and a lot of that has to do with the oil that we run. One of the things that I love about Schaeffer's oil is the fact that all of their reps are out in the field and at the racetracks with us, seeing what all the racers need, seeing what ideas we have or anything that we can improve on. And you just can't beat the customer service of having a rep for, you know, one of the main components of our race team, whether it's at our engine oil, transmission fluid, rear end oil. Having somebody there that represents that brand and also gives us support and also the knowledge that we need to be making the right calls and just helping us out with our entire racing program. It means a lot to our race team to have that. My name's Chris Ferguson, and I drive the number 22 dirt late model. I've been using Schaeffer's oil racing products since 2009. I absolutely have no doubt that we're using the best products that is possible for dirt late model racing.
You're blind. You're trying to escape from here, aren't you? I want to see how far you can make it before your head is chopped off.
Hello and welcome to round number 9 of the Schaeffer's Turbo Series from Texas Motor Speedway. For Race First, I'm Matt Houston. We're heading just into qualifying right now. Got some interesting lines that we've got drivers running. We might be running the apron here today at Texas, running these PM18s. Kind of a big track for these cars. These cars are going to run around at the top of the track, and then they're going to dive low, either to the white line or even below it onto the apron. But joining me in the booth here is Sunset Arctic himself in Dakota DeMade, who will be racing in the Cup Series here later tonight. Hey, Dakota.
Howdy. Welcome to Texas. Happy to be here tonight.
Well, it's good to have you here every week that you join us. Certainly going to be interesting. I've been watching this practice. I'm hopeful for this race. What I'm seeing, this apron stuff, if they're allowed to run it during the race, is going to be really interesting. I'm going to take a quick look at the points here. We've got James Watson in the lead, 284 points, followed by Andrew Spates. Chris Cawthorn there in P3, 244 points. So really this is a battle mostly between those top 3 there, and Watson, Spates, and Cawthorn, but Kresge and Fell have an outside chance as well. So 50 laps here tonight at Texas in these PM18s, followed by, 138 laps at in the Cup race?
134.
Okay, 134.
Comes out to 400 kilometers, give or take a few.
We've got Gary Gotso on track. He'll be joining us in the booth later tonight. Chad Irvine is a late comer here into the league. He runs over in the Tuesday Night Thunder that I cover, obviously, on Tuesday nights. Here he runs PM18s. And he's on his qualifying laps. Let's see if he's going to run this. He's going to run the apron. It is the faster way around, at least in qualifying. It's going to use your tires up, though. So that's what's going to be interesting. If they're going to run this during the race, It's going to be really interesting.
Yeah, I haven't seen any rules about that yet.
You got to watch out for that cone. And he goes 7th, so that wasn't the fastest lap there. Owens, though, just went to the top of the board. 32 seconds, .208. Got a couple other drivers still on track. Cawthorn, championship contender here. So he's not running the apron or anything like that. We've got a Cawthorn fan in the chat, so keep an eye on him tonight for the viewers.
Yeah, Cawthorn sporting the Whataburger paint, so it's very, very Texas-y.
He went really low on the front straightaway. I don't know if he got a 1X. I doubt he did because he's still going. He's running the apron down the back straightaway, but back onto the track, getting that banking in turns 3 and 4. You know something about hitting that grass on the front straightaway, don't you, there, Dakota? And actually keeping it going without having any incidents.
It's 50-50 on whether he'll be okay or not. Sometimes you get off track. Most of the time, you're probably just going to lose control. But
yeah.
it's...
Let's see here. I thought he had done his laps. He's still out here doing one more. As we're only 15 seconds left in qualifying, so we're about done here. Got Connor Baldwin also. Okay, he's done. All right. Connor Baldwin also in here. He's just about to come across the line. Looks like he might be running a Steak and Shake livery. I can't quite tell.
Is he running? Hold on. He might
It
have
was
been
a
running.
red car, but it kind of looked like it had a Steak and Shake logo on it, but I'm not 100% sure. Nope, it's
Yes.
not. Oh, it is? Okay.
It is Steak and Shake.
All right. So Owens is going to be our pole sitter, I think. Let me bring up the grid before I claim that. We have Jason Owens. Let me get up the speed on this rather than the time. So that's 162 mile an hour average for Jason there, followed by James Watson, our championship leader. Simon Fell in P3, Christian Jasper in P4. Christian's had a lot of bad luck in these races, so we hope he has a good run. He had bad luck last night in the Tuesday Night Thunder race. Through no fault of his own, car flew up the track and he just got collected in that whole thing. So Spates in P5, Robert Hodel in P6. They pull away. Christopher Kresge, our admin, in P7. Chad Irvine, P8. Mike McCullen joining us. I think he missed last race, or the last couple races maybe. Connor Baldwin in P10. Tony Patty in P11. Chris Cawthorn in P12. And Gary Gotso, P13. And Jeff Destino in P14. Gary's going to mostly... I think he's got a strategy here, and he's going to try to stick to the back, wait for the big one to happen, and try to capitalize on that. We'll see how that works out for Gary here.
And as usual, I have put the Twitch usernames in chat. Cadil is Christian Jasper, and Double G Crizzle is Jason Owens. They are both streaming in VR tonight.
Very cool. I have never streamed in VR myself.
I did it once, and I was dropping a lot of frames.
Yeah, that's the thing. You gotta have a pretty powerful machine to begin with, and I don't think I can maintain. I have frame drops even with my normal system, so I don't need to be streaming as well.
Yeah, that's why I spun out 3 times at Mid-Ohio.
Is that when you were doing it? Okay,
yes.
We're about to... Jason Owens taking the green flag here. Watson on the outside, running that paint scheme, that livery we saw him run last night. That is made by Chad Irvine there. They're looking for that low line already. Jasper high on the outside. And we have the full expectation that this is going to be a pack race for you guys here. Nearly some contact, I think, between Hodel back there. And yeah, that was Hodel in the 5th place on Simon Fell. Everything's good so far, as Owens is going to lead our first lap. Simon Fell moves up the track a little bit, almost comes into Tony Patty back there. And we got cars 2x2, so they're at least able to maintain something out there on that second line. Not sure if it's the way to go, though. You can see Hodel there in the number 37, moved up. He switched over to that lower lane and is in 3rd spot.
Baldwin's making it 3 wide up the middle. We'll see if that works at Texas.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, we got a car spin around.
That is our points leader. James Watson. Hard into the wall. I think that's going to be game over for that car. These cars are highly repairable, but I think that is too much.
That's not a car anymore.
No, it's not. Did Gary make it through this thing? He did. So that's what Gary's strategy was, to get through that. Let's pull up a replay of that craziness there. But that's going to be significant points damage for Watson and his championship lead.
Watson not happy with Robert over the radio.
I see. Well, let's have a look at this replay here. See what we can decipher. Through turns 1 and 2, Watson had the P2 position. Hodel looks to the outside, and it looked like he turns him, so yeah, I can see where Watson might not be too happy with that one. Let's go on board with Hodel and have another look at this. The Torpedo makes his presence known in this race. Yeah, he gave him some of the front wing and the right and Watson's right rear, just turning him. That's the nature of this kind of racing, though. It is exciting to the viewer, though.
I'm hearing McCullen might have damage too.
Okay, yeah, there was some cars that really went through that. Let me, we've got plenty of time to look at what it looked like from McCullen here, so let's see if we can go back and look at it. Let's go on board with him. We're gonna see a car flying up into the air. Yeah, there was a car basically in McCullen's face, so it didn't look like he took any damage though. But because once the car is in the air, there is no damage on the car, so I don't think he took any damage. His car looks okay to me. Gary's made it through. Destino and Gary kind of on similar like-minded strategies, so they might just be hanging at the back and waiting for these other big ones to happen. But that one only took out Watson. Gary's gonna duck into the pits back here, top up that fuel, I suppose. Robert Hodel won our first race of the season there. I believe it was a Homestead. That's what it was, right? Yeah.
Michigan.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, Michigan. That's right. I think when we ran Homestead, it was in the IR18s.
Yes, and it was Julian.
Yeah, Julian won. Well, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
I think you're right. Lights are out on the pace car. We're going to be going back to green here momentarily. So Destino has lost a lap. unfortunately for him. He had a long pit stop, so I think that was the other car that took damage. Yeah, he had a minute 20 pit stop, so that's unfortunate for Destino there. But he can gain some positions here if this thing, it's going to get dicey. Owens is going to bring us back to the green flag here. Mustang pace car dives off onto the pit lane. And we have Owens taking the green. Big gap to Hodel, but Hodel will minimize that here shortly. Simon Fell looking outside on Hodel. Not going to work. Really spread out here at the start. Tony back there in P8 needs to not lose that draft up to Cawthorn.
He's getting passed by Kresge. Kresge wants to get right back up to that pack.
Yeah. Tony was sleeping a little bit on that one. I mean, if there's another caution, he'll be right back up there. Maybe that was a strategy. Let's see, where's Gary? Gary really back as well. So, again, that might just be the strategy. Just hang out behind there. But if this goes green, then they're going to be hosed. But, you know, that's a lot to count on. As Baldwin looks outside on Owens into turn 3 and 4. He's going to need some help there on that outside line. Otherwise, he's going to get hung out to dry. Looks like the 33 car of Andrew Spates is going to come work with him, though. And Spates momentarily is in that third spot, overtaking Hodel on the inside line. Now looking 3 wide on the backstretch. Spates looking on the outside of Baldwin. Not going to work up there. I think 2 wide might work, but I don't think 3 wide. Don't think there's enough momentum on that top side. And Spates takes the low line. Baldwin still hanging on that outside.
Yeah, I don't see the high line working out either in this race.
I think you're going to need help, but certainly not a third line. There's no way a third line's going to work.
Right. I wonder how much you can bump draft in these cars.
Oh boy.
Whoa, that was close.
That was close between Hodel and, was that Baldwin?
Yes.
Cawthorn is going to overtake Hodel, at least for a moment, but Hodel's coming back on the inside.
Baldwin's got a good run.
Yeah, I think you can get a really good run on the outside, but I think being the lead car, I don't think you can pass for the lead. I think you can get other positions on the outside line, but I don't think you can pass for the lead on the outside. At least that's what we're seeing so far.
Cawthorn joining him in the high line.
These guys on the front stretch on the low line going through the grass. These guys on the outside, they don't want to be seeing that. But they're putting some confidence in those guys running that low line that they're going to maintain those spots as Cawthorn just opts for the low line as opposed to that high line. As Spates. Hodel's dropped back to 5th. So Simon Fell was like, what, 3rd on that restart? He started 3rd in the race. I don't know if he was 3rd, though. But, yeah, he was up there. He's dropped back to 6th. Big gap back to McCullen there in 8th, about 2 seconds back.
Yeah, I thought they would be able to make that up, but now they're their own little pack.
Yeah. And another couple seconds back to Gary from here. But those guys are just waiting for another caution, something to happen up here at the front. I know Jason really wants to win one of these races, you know. He's the PM18 guy, so he's got to win one of them. It's going to come down to, I think they'll have to pit at some point. Everybody's going to have to pit. As they get 3 wide on the back straightaway, that's Baldwin in the middle. Spates on the top side as he drops back. Cawthorn is now into P2. Hodel moving into P4. Let's go on board with Hodel here. Get a good view from him. Using some apron there. Nobody opting to run the apron line. Maybe they discussed that and said, no apron. Whoa, Baldwin. I thought he was coming down on Hodel there.
I'm not sure what happened there. I think he just got really loose.
Interesting. As Cothran's looking on the outside of Owens. Just throw out a big parachute on him, on the back of him, though, because I don't think that's going to work for the lead. Maybe if the tires start going off. I don't expect them to, though. Hodel moves into P2. He's really right on Jason's gearbox there.
He was touching the apron a bit. That's not something you want to mess with.
Yeah, certainly not in the IndyCar later tonight. We've got Spates on the outside. And I see that Watson has never made it back to the track or anything. That was kind of to be expected with how that car looked after that accident.
Cawthorn on the outside of Owens. Let's see if he can make it stick.
I think they need some bump drafting on that outside line to get that working. Let's see what Baldwin does here. He just needs to push Cawthorn to the front here.
Hey, Cawthorn led that lap. So,
okay, so
it's possible that we could get something there.
Testing it out for 32 laps from now, and we'll be on our final lap here. This is like some old school IRL pack racing right here. Even in the Indy Lights series, they had some pack racing like this with only about a dozen cars or so, but side by side.
Baldwin's made it
like he's working
back up to third. See if Cawthorn. Oh, he might have tried to get back in line, but no space there from Spates.
All it takes is a little bit of contact, a little bit of bump drafting. I see it developing. This front straightaway isn't the best place for side-by-side running. That whole shape there really can be offsetting. A little bit easier to do it on the D-shaped tracks. As Baldwin opts to take the inside line, he abandons ship on Cawthorn there. Oh, he comes back out. Yeah, I thought he was going to try to force his way into that in front of Hodel back there. There's enough room for it now, though. Oh, boy.
Connor is on the radio trying to discuss a bump draft strategy with Cawthorn.
I see. I think that's what it's going to take, though, if Cawthorn wants to win this race. However, with that said, the points here is really good for both Cawthorn and Spates. Because
Baldwin got really loose on the exit of the tri-oval. Almost smacked the wall.
Yeah, you can see those cars back there sometimes in that tri-oval. It's really dicey through there. Back to that group with Irvine and Kresge and Patty. They're side by side back there as well, with McCullen too. So they're not trying to bump draft or anything back here to try to catch up to the front. And they're just losing ground to the leaders. So they're maintaining, for the most part, the ground that they lost after the restart. I think Gary back in as Watson's back out. That was a long... See, these cars, I don't know if you knew that, Dakota, that these cars have much more ability to be repaired than the IndyCar can.
That car only had 2 tires.
Yeah, and Yeah, so like 13 seconds on the pit lane, and he got his car repaired. Don't you wish you could have that in the IndyCar?
I feel like when he's already 19 laps down.
Yeah.
There's
He's pretty much over it. Yeah,
there's no chance for him to gain any more spots.
Unless there's another big one that really takes somebody out. But yeah, I can't imagine how you can...
At the pace he's going, he's probably going to finish 30 laps down, maybe.
Yeah. He needs whatever that to happen right now, if it happens.
It just might.
Yeah, it just might. Now, these cars are just going to get more aggressive as this run goes on. Is anybody making any notes about coming into the pits? Because I don't think they can make it on 50 laps without pitting here.
Haven't heard anything over the radio.
Yeah.
Kresge trying to talk about a leapfrog strategy to try and get back to the main pack.
I'm not sure. A leapfrog strategy will require a caution. Oops, somebody, Baldwin there blinked out. That's not what you want to see as Owens as the leader. The guy who's in P2 blinking out.
And Baldwin takes the lead into 3 on the outside line.
Yeah, did he lead a lap? Oh, I didn't see it, but seems strong on the outside there. Is he... no, Owens led that lap. It was really close, though.
5 thousandths.
We'll see if Cawthorn wants to do any bump drafting on Baldwin. Test that out. Looking back... So, actually, Patty and Patty's group have actually... gapped a little bit. They brought it under 2 seconds now, so maybe they do have some strategy back there where they're going to work with each other. Yeah, I don't know. So we'll keep an eye on that gap back to them. So in the Tuesday Night Thunder League, they will be running Homestead in the PM18s here at some point in the league. So they will have one big 1.5 miler in that league. The rest of the tracks are pretty much short ovals. One of our Cawthorn fans out in the chat was saying, don't do it, in terms of this is probably the bump drafting.
I would think so.
Yeah. Maybe on the last lap. then you can do your bump drafting, but not now. Not with 20 laps to go.
I think you want to be the pusher and not the pushy.
Yeah.
just in case if something goes wrong and you can just dump them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're kind of just stuck at the moment. Whoever gets out here, Spates takes over that second position on that inside line. Baldwin on the outside didn't quite work. I still feel like Baldwin, though, is doing a better job on that outside line than some of the other drivers have been. He made it work better than some others, anyway. Although Cawthorn, I think... Was it Cawthorn who led a lap on that outside line?
Yes.
They just have to time it perfectly for that final lap, and then maybe somebody on the outside line could win this race, but...
That gap to the second pack is now 1.9 seconds.
Yeah. So it is slowly but surely coming down. If they can get, I don't know, a second back, that'll pull them up really quick.
That's about what I was thinking.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what the draft, as they get really close there on the tri-oval there. I don't know what the draft effect is in these cars, like how close it is, because it's in the IR18, it's about 1.5 seconds. But I was talking to somebody earlier today about the old Dallara IndyCar, the IR05s, and those are like 0.8 seconds. Once you're beyond that, you really have lost it. So Well, I'm gonna feel bad for Jason if he gets dumped here at the end. You can't be dumping the guy that's running the Riley Children's Hospital car out here.
Right.
I've been running around with like kind of the same camera angle this whole race, so I'll try something else. High up view. That gap to Kresge's back up to 2 seconds to that group.
They're closing in on Jason. However, Jasper is closing in on the pack.
I see. I see what it is, yep. Yeah, Jasper's just hanging out there. Get to go with the TV static cam. This gives you a really good sense of speed here. Not all the tracks have this static cam, but I always like it because it really, you know, because it's not moving, you really see how fast the cars are going. You can't quite see, like when those cars are running, like at Indianapolis, when the camera's panning with the car, it doesn't really look like they're going, you know, 220 miles an hour, 230 miles an hour. But when you get a static cam and you're sitting in the stands, yeah, they're going really fast.
Those cameras still can't capture the sense of speed of you being actually at the track.
No.
There's nothing like seeing a 220 mile an hour IndyCar just go right by you.
Yeah. It's the sound as well that makes it, in my opinion. So.
Oh yeah. Hodel getting really close to Spates.
Yeah.
I thought he was gonna give him a bump there.
I wonder how many incidents we're gonna have in this race of guys just going through the grass. Like, I wonder how many 1Xs we have from that grass. There's definitely tire marks over there. Hodel dropped back a little bit that time. I wonder what Gary is going to think about this race.
Yeah, Gary, almost 10 seconds back now, just running his own line.
But these guys have to pit at some point, I think. Like, I really don't think they can make it this long. We'll see.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've driven these cars, so I'm not aware of fuel limit.
Yeah, and it's just going to be different because this is like full throttle as well, so they're going to be burning more fuel than they ever would.
Spates makes a run to the outside.
It looks pretty good. He's got help on that outside line, like two cars helping. He's got Baldwin and Cawthorn there on that outside line. See if Baldwin and Spates are okay with that bump trap. We know Cawthorn maybe isn't, but
oh, Hodel's getting really close.
Oh boy, that was really close there. And he goes almost on the apron there.
I thought that's where he was going.
Yeah, I thought he was making that executive decision to take. I'm going to take the apron on this lap. So Gary and Destino up ahead. Not sure if that's going to come into be a factor here. Yeah. All right, there's some other. Is that Watson that's up there? Okay, Watson pulled off the track. That's who that was. I saw a lap car way up ahead.
10 to go, and I haven't heard anything of pitting.
Interesting. So maybe that's not a storyline. As we are now like
Baldwin!
Between was that
Hodel. Baldwin and Hodel.
Baldwin and Hodel. And we do have caution on the track, so we'll get a replay here. Definitely no pitting now, but I have to imagine that some cars might take tires. If you're Gary back there on P11 or Tony, I might just get some tires, get some fresh rubber, and have really good sticky tires for the end of this thing. Nothing to lose for them.
Yeah, if you're Gary, Odell, Patty, do the opposite of what everyone else does, I suppose.
Getting a replay here of Hodel here.
It just looked like Baldwin tried to make a move on the outside, but he didn't give enough room. And just bumped him in the rear.
Yep, that's what it looked like to me. Other cars behind really doing a good job dodging him. And that second group.
Baldwin fakes pit road. Okay. And we do not have any takers.
Gary's going in.
Gary's going in.
That's the strategy, Gary. That's exactly. If I was back where Gary was, I would no doubt take a fresh tires. Now, I think everybody has learned from that last restart to not drop back. So, you want to be right on that car. Let's do a quick shout out. We got to pay some bills here and do a shout out to our sponsors with some commercials here. So we'll do one of those.
There's two types of drivers out there. Drivers who know how to protect their investment, and drivers who don't. Car owners who know how to get more miles per gallon, and owners who don't. We're talking people who know their Schaeffer, and people who don't. Which one are you? From cars to trucks to diesel workhorses, whatever you drive, there's a Schaeffer synthetic oil for you. Do you know your Schaeffer? Ask for it at an automotive retailer near you.
So we're back. I hear cars burning fuel. So, interesting.
Well, I think we got our answer.
Yeah, nobody needs to pit for sure because people burning fuel. I think we have somebody talking about Driven in the chat. Possibly. It's the only racing movie I know with Sylvester Stallone. Although Sylvester Stallone is in the Death Race movie. You probably don't know about that one there, Dakota. It's a movie even before my time.
They did a reboot, didn't they? Death Race 2000?
Yeah, it had Jason Statham in it, but the original Death Race had Sylvester Stallone. This is it might have even been before Rocky, and Rocky's 1970 something. So Death Race is a 70s movie. I don't usually go back that far unless it's Star Wars. That's my limit on how far you go back. Yeah. There was a Stallone's Driven and Death Race. This is racing movies that I can think of. So yeah, I guess maybe this is more like Death Race. So everybody that was in that group there with Irvine and Kresge and McCullen, they're going to have a chance now. Going to be in that group. Lights are on the pace car as we come across the start-finish line. Lights are out on the pace car. 1 lap to go, so we're going to have a 5-lap shootout here unless we have more caution, which certainly could always happen. Looks like Destino is going to get his lap back because of Lucky Dog. Got about, really only about 5 minutes left in this race with 5 laps. And even less, 2.5 minutes left in this race with 5 laps to go at that restart. This is going to be really interesting. I wonder if Baldwin has any damage on that front wing. It doesn't look like he does.
Yeah, I kind of expected him to pit just in case, but
yeah,
he's gonna go for it.
Nothing to lose. In that P2 position, that front wing probably won't matter that much. Okay, here we go.
And we got a wreck on the back of the field.
Uh-oh. Yellow flag. Let's see. We got a McCullen is around. Let's see what happened there. Pace car is still going down the pit lane. Let's see what we've got here. So there's just a checkup probably on this restart. Big gap from Jasper.
Jasper to Irvine had a huge gap.
Oh, Tony Patty runs right into it as well. Yeah. I don't know who was at fault with that one. I'm going to get another look at it. Although maybe we're not in the business. I think that...
Irvine is just so far back.
Yeah, Kresge, I think... Is that Kresge? Yeah, I think it is. He comes out unscathed, though, for the most part. Maybe a change of the front wing. Let me do one more replay of this. There's a lot of stuff going on there. Certainly, McCullen took the worst of it, though. Yeah, he impacts... And Patty. How did Gary get through this? Gary got spun around. I don't know if he took damage, though. Let's look at it from Gary. Gary tries to thread the needle. Oh, Hodel. I think. Is that what happened?
Hodel just comes back and just eat.
I'm gonna watch this one more time. Gary's gonna have some words for Hodel, I think. It's like you see cars spinning, but you just go. Okay. Hodel has to be nearing his incident limit for the night. As Owens is our leader here, so we might get one lap. What do we think? 1 or 2 laps to go?
The lights are still on, so I think we're gonna get 1 to go.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be... But how many green flag laps are we gonna get? 1, right? Yeah, 1. We should get a green flag here, though.
Jasper was willing to take blame for that situation, but I'm
not sure what he did.
Yeah, he was a bit late getting to the line there, but I don't ultimately think he was at fault.
I'm gonna try to look at a replay here. Oh, I was looking at the wrong guy. I was looking at Tony. Yeah, I don't think that... No, that wasn't Jasper's fault at all.
Alright, the lights are still flashing. That is going to be the end of the race.
Okay. Well, that's unfortunate for you guys, folks. We didn't have a... end that we were looking for on this one. Gonna end under caution.
Yeah, no green white checkers here.
No green white checkers here. We don't want any of that anyway. We'd be here until tomorrow if we had that. So this is going to be a good points day for Spates and Cawthorn. I'll show you guys the points before this race. So Spates and Cawthorn, Spates is going to, I think Spates is going to take over the lead here in points. Cawthorn is going to have a good day, but He's going to lose ground to Spates. So, just a little bit though, but he's got a pretty significant gap. Where are we going next? Let me double check that.
Road America.
Road America, is that in the PM18? So that's interesting. And then so in the PM18, and then final race. So 2 races to go. Last one's going to be at Gateway. Never call it by the sponsor's name.
Worldwide Technology. Yes.
Worldwide Technology Raceway?
If they're paying for it, you gotta.
Well, I don't have to, but
That's fair.
NBC,
it's not like they're paying us.
Yeah, it's not like they're paying us. The NBC guys, they have to do it. But Owens is going to get this victory that he has been looking for, both in his own series, Tuesday Night Thunder, and here in the Schaeffer's Turbo series. So hopefully we'll get an interview with him. Gotta get up here, and I mean, obviously he's gonna go across the start-finish line, but it's gonna be tough. He's got the VR going, so, and he's on his own stream.
Yeah, he's pretty happy right now on stream.
Yeah,
talking to his son right now. So that's pretty cool.
And Baldwin's gonna survive and finish second. And we'll never know if his front wing was damaged or not. So Owens started first, finishes first. That's what you got to do.
Chris Cawthorn with the fastest lap of the night, 32.1.
Does that factor into the points here in the series?
No.
Okay.
Does it?
Not
does IndyCar do that?
IndyCar does do that.
Then yes, it does.
I'm not sure if they do it.
No, they don't. It's pole, leading a lap, and then most laps.
Yeah, sorry, you're right. I was thinking the pole, but he got the pole, so he'll have some points there. Now he's heading around the track here. Victory lap here, full speed. Now he's gonna run the apron. Are we gonna get some donuts? I have to imagine we're gonna get some donuts. No limits, Texas here. Yep, there we go.
Unfortunately, there's no attenuator here. Jason's trademark attenuator party. We'll have to wait.
So you didn't watch the Tuesday Night Thunder last night, but I spoiled it for you already, right?
Yeah, you did.
Shire had no fuel for a burnout, so Jason pushed him to the end.
I did watch the last 5 minutes of that.
He had one puff.
Yeah.
He had one puff of.
That's what I wanted to do at Pocono.
Yeah.
I couldn't pull it off.
So good on Jason here. Hopefully we get him in the booth here. Here he is right here. Hey, Jason. Congratulations on your win. Is he on mute? Might be on mute. Or everybody's on mute. He's got to get out of the VR and check out what's up with Discord so that he can talk.
Hey, I think I got my audio reconfigured here. I got to switch it over.
I've got you. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I totally can. What's up, Matt?
Okay. Well, congratulations on your victory here. You've been trying a lot here in the Schaeffer's Turbo Series and also in the Tuesday Night Thunder. You finally get one here. How does it feel?
Oh, man, it feels fantastic. I kind of wish we'd gotten to go green there at the end. I think I had something for everybody behind me. I know James got bumped out early, but I was really looking forward to racing the Solo Cup there. He and I had some really good practice finding the line around the bottom in the pole or in pole practice. And without that practice with him, I don't think I would have been able to lay down that pole lap, which really turned out to be the reason I was able to go to victory lane tonight. So just want to say thanks to obviously Schaeffer's for supporting the Turbo Series here, for Raceverse for the broadcast, and Chris and Reddit IndyCar League for putting it on. And cannot believe we brought home the Extra Life, Children's Miracle Network Hospitals, Riley Children's Hospital car to Victory Lane tonight. Oh, super stoked.
Well, congratulations. I have to say that was one of the most professional readings of the sponsors that I've heard on one of my broadcasts. So good on you for that.
Right on. I've had a bit of practice, I think.
Well, congratulations out here, Jason. You put on a good show here. Really interesting race. I wasn't really sure what to expect from this one, and it lived up to it. After I got into practice and how it was all going, I was like, this. I told Dakota, I was like, I think this race is going to be a good one. So.
Yeah, I mean, it felt like a couple of the guys, I don't think I led every lap. Crew chief was telling me a couple of times the guys got me at the line, so I was really worried that particularly Connor there was going to get a really big run on the white flag lap coming down the backstretch and be able to pit me at the line. So, man, what a fun race. Thanks again to Schaeffer's.
Hey, next week we're going to be doing Road America. You going to be there?
Yeah, but I won't be any threat for the podium at Road America.
Well, we look forward to seeing you. And then after that, obviously, we'll be... where are we going next week in TNT? We're doing New Hampshire? I think that's where we're... we're USA International, then New Hampshire, I think.
That sounds right. USA International, because it's also USA International in the officials for PM18 next week. That just happened to work out. So it'll be a fun week.
Well, good luck to you there. We'll be seeing you. And are you going to show up in the Cup race later tonight?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Me and the IR18 don't get along very well.
Well,
you know you want to.
I think you guys have a TNT practice, though, over there that might be happening. So that's probably the priority.
Yeah, I'm going to go turn a couple hundred laps at USA International in beautiful Lakeland, Florida.
Very cool. Well, congratulations again there, Jason, and we'll see you next week.
Right on. Take it easy.
Yeah, take care.
All right, congrats, Jason.
Thanks, Dakota.
All right, well, let me just run through the final results here. Jason Owens in P1, Connor Baldwin in P2, Andrew Spates, P3 is going to take over the championship lead, I think. Cawthorn in P4, although Watson won't, because we only have 14 cars, it won't be the worst thing where he ended up, as opposed to like if we were in the Cup and we had 24 cars, that'd be much worse. Where were we? Cawthorn, Simon Fell in P5, Jasper P6, Kresge P7, Tony Patty P8. Destino gets around Gary after driving around quite a bit of the race, one lap down. Gary finishes 10th. Chad Irvine 11th, Robert Hodel P12, Mike McCullen P13, and our previous championship leader in 14th. So we'll be back at about 9:30 for the Schaeffer's Cup race. And we'll see you guys then. Any thoughts going into the Texas race there, Dakota, here in 50 minutes?
It's going to be a tough one. If it's anything like the Charlotte, this series, or the Indy Fix this week, it's going to be tough. We're going to see lots of close racing, and that's all I got.
Yeah, Caleb's really, really far up on the points, so unless something really bad happens to him, we'll see.
Yeah, there's a chance. Yeah, there's a chance that he could clinch the championship tonight, which I really don't want to see, but...
No, yeah. Caleb's our friend and everything, but you never want to see, in something you're broadcasting, somebody clinch the championship that early in the season. Yeah, so...
Right.
Yeah. All right, well, good luck in that race, Dakota, and
Thank you.
Hopefully we see you on the podium.
Yeah, I hope so, too.
All right, we'll see you, everybody else, in about 50 minutes.
Ever since I've switched to Schaeffer's oil, I've never had a reason to even try anything else. And that's one thing that I'm proud about, is the fact that I can't tell you how good something else is, because I know how good Schaeffer's oil is. My engine builders, Tony and Glenn Clements, have said about the oil we run. They've told us that out of all the motors that they get and rebuild every year, ours looks the best, and a lot of that has to do with the oil that we run. One of the things that I love about Schaeffer's Oil is the fact that all of their reps are out in the field and at the racetracks with us, seeing what all the racers need, seeing what ideas we have or anything that we can improve on. And you just can't beat the customer service of having a rep for, one of the main components of our race team, whether it's at our engine oil, transmission fluid, rear end oil, having somebody there that represents that brand and also gives us support and also the knowledge that we need to be making the right calls and just helping us out with our entire racing program. It means a lot to our race team to have that. My name's Chris Ferguson and I drive the number 22 dirt late model. I've been using Schaeffer's Oil racing products since 2009. I absolutely have no doubt that we're using the best products that is possible for dirt late model racing.
You're blind. You're trying to escape from here, aren't you? I want to see how far you can make it before your head is chopped off.
Hello and welcome to round number 10 of the Schaeffer's Cup from Texas Motor Speedway. For Race Verse, I'm Matt Houston, joined by Gary Gotso here in the booth. We've got a Texas show here tonight, Gary. Really looking forward to this one. I don't really know what kind of race it's going to be, whether it's going to be a pack race or we're going to have a lot of tire fall off, that kind of thing.
Yeah, IndyCars have been coming here for one form of another since 1997, and it's been a staple of the series ever since. This is kind of my first time to actually watch an iRacing IndyCar race here at this particular configuration of this track. We'll talk about the multiple configurations track this went through. This could very easily be a tire wear race, especially with the dual bankings on one end of the track, where one's end's a little bit flatter than the other. So it'll be interesting to see. I don't think it's going to be really much of a pack race. It might be early on, but I think as the tires wear off, I think you'll start seeing them spread out.
Yeah, I also think the fact that they've scheduled it during the day here will have a big effect. I think every race just about that I've done here, and it was with the old tire model, or have watched, has been a night race. So we'll see how that affects this new tire model and how the drivers cope with it, especially with, like you said, that different banking in turn 1 and 2. Currently, Dakota, their provisional pole sitter there.
2:14.833.
We'll bring up the speeds for you guys rather than the timing there. We've got a few more guys still out here to qualify, though.
Currently in second is Gavin Sanders with a 2:14.373. Alex Van Asant in third with a 2:14.091. Eamon Herman in a 2:13.759. And Connor Baldwin, 2:13.604 in his special Texas car. Neil
Lusher is out there. He just set 2:12. Isidro there, he's sitting on pit lane. I don't know if he's going back out, or I think he's already finished what he's doing. I don't think he can go back out if he's already set a lap.
Wow, Caleb, I don't know if Caleb currently is in the process, and he's on his, because the second lap is going to be your faster lap. I think he's done.
Yeah, I see
he's way back in 10th.
Yeah, interesting. Wow. Interesting story there. Got several other guys that are either opting to not qualify or will qualify at the end here. Let me go through the points here real quick. So we were just talking about that a moment ago between ourselves. Caleb Bensi with a huge points lead, 344 points, where Dakota DeMade in P2 in points, 271 points. Shane Coogan with 257 points, Gavin Sanders 245, and Alex Van de Zandt with 244. So that battle for points is pretty much a battle for second position, unless Caleb had some really, really unfortunate, end of this season. But I think there's a chance he finishes off the championship here tonight. So we'll see what happens. But with that qualifying, he's bound to be in. Anything can happen. John Freeze is out here on the track, so we still have some qualifiers.
That's a 73-point spread right there.
Yeah, that's...
So that's a couple races worth. So
You can do 100, or you can do 50 points a race, like if you won. So there's 150 points able to be had, but yeah, that's a pretty sizable gap. This late in the season.
Take a lot of bad luck. Yeah, a lot of bad luck.
So Freeze here is just doing a really slow lap is what he's going to do. This might be a sub 200. Or he's going up to speed, so there might have been a strategy there. I don't know what the strategy is.
Well, it depends on the scrutiny of qualifying. I don't know what they have turned on in terms of options, but if he goes too slow and they have that option turned on, you'll actually get a black flag and they'll tell you to go.
Yeah, you're right about that.
Yeah, there he goes.
Yeah.
Now he's pitting.
I
don't know what he's doing.
It actually exited it out, because we went to the next session. So we can run through the grid if you're ready. I'll start it up.
Yeah, let me bring up my screens here.
Okay, so we've got Dakota DeMay there with a 214.833 representing the Hoosiers and Club Indiana, followed by Gavin Sanders at a 214.373, Alex Van de Zandt with a 214.091, Hayden Herman with a really good qualifying, it's probably his best of the season there in fourth, Connor Baldwin in fifth, Drew White in sixth, also a good qualifying attempt by him.
In seventh is Neil Lusher, and eighth is Christopher Albee. Ninth, Shane Coogan. Caleb Bency in 10th. He's going to be right in the mid pack, so he's got to be careful. He does have that big lead, but we don't want that epic fail to start right now. He qualified with a 212.508. Adam Nash 11th, and Mark Johnson in 12th in his special Greg Ray livery tonight.
And then we've got Craig Forsyth. He's running hand controls tonight, so that'll be interesting to see how Craig copes with that. He actually just got done with another race over in the Dark Horse Series, so he's here running a doubleheader tonight. Wes Shire in P14, and Nicholas Isidro in P15, John Freeze in P16, and Matthew Koskarov in 18th. Do we have any more out here?
Yeah, I got Ryan Lewis in 19th and Angelo Espo in 20th, but they all have no speed, so they are going to start shotgun on the field.
Yeah, I mean, that's a strategy here. It didn't quite work out for you in that earlier race, Gary, but certainly a strategy. They have a few more laps here, 134 laps for something like that. I think we're running about 50 laps for pit stops, 50 to 55 laps. So we're going to have a couple pit stops here in this race as we wait for
my little incident was because of I caught damage, and it was just I was underpowered for the entire time. So, and then I get run over on the restart, and I never really had a chance. So,
well, yeah, nobody had a chance after that one anyway. So because we never went back to green. So
yeah.
Let's hope that we don't end under yellow here. So don't want to jinx anything, but. Want to see some green flag running. We had a long green flag run in that race until the very end. The cautions breed cautions, as they say. But good on Dakota here for putting it on the pole.
Yeah, and his new kind of special livery for tonight, I think it's pretty slick.
Yeah, I'm still trying to remember what I said it looked like. But Dakota's on a bit of a hot streak here. So he won last week here in the Cup Series at Pocono, and then he won in the Velocity Online Racing League at Milwaukee. And obviously, there over in the TI Series, he finished second in Indianapolis. So he's kind of on a hot streak.
Next to you, champ.
That's right. That's my biggest sim racing win of my career, really. First win at Indianapolis on the oval, anyway.
So Gavin on the outside in that Velocity Online Racing car. He will be actually joining me as a teammate next season of Velocity Online Racing. So he's definitely. We're looking forward to getting him integrated with the team. He's a great guy. So here we go. Watch the wheel spin.
Pace car. This is a really late start by Dakota here.
And there's wheel spin. All right, we see a couple fishtailing. Everybody's got it under condition, and we go down in turn 1, and looks like Van de Sande has the inside on Gavin Sanders.
Side by side down the back straightaway. So far cleanly through. I see that Albee is running that familiar IndyCar Racing 2 livery, or is it the IndyCar Racing 1? I couldn't tell. I'm using a high-up camera one. So Van de Sande going inside for the lead on Dakota.
Wow,
Dakota's
he made up a lot of space. Dakota going high in turn 2. Whoa. Gavin up in the wall. So I noticed a lot of drivers, as the tires wore off, that their car gets real light right about here on turn 4, and then they also get light on exit out of turn 2. Much similar to what we saw. I kind of saw at Homestead, where the car would just kind of bust loose. Same thing's going on here.
I wonder if Dakota's he's running that high line. I wonder if he wants to just save some tires there. If he's already thinking about tire management as this race goes on. Now he has Gavin Sanders looking on the inside. Connor Baldwin back there in 4th position. That's a new livery for him, it looks like.
I thought he had a special Texas one that I saw, but maybe opted for something different.
Yeah, are you seeing this blue and white one that I'm seeing?
Yep,
okay.
That's what I'm seeing.
I wanted to make sure that I wasn't running something wrong. Okay, so Sanders into the lead here over Van de Sande. Now Dakota there taking over 2nd position. He's going to pass Van de Sande as well. This is fast-paced stuff here so far. I think the tires are just going to be, and I've got the wrong, I had the timer on as opposed to the lap counter. So we're lap 5 of 134 rather than whatever it was showing. It was showing like 2 hours to go in the race. Because it's a 2-hour session.
Dakota and oh gosh, looks like look at Bency. He's
I was
way up the front
just
there.
seeing that come up. Big moving in this race from 10th to 3rd and just 6 laps. Oh, and we have Connor Baldwin in hard into the wall on the back straightaway. Caution comes out.
So was that him just getting loose?
We saw that in practice, and he's still going at least, but that car is not going to be right.
Yeah, I got the replay getting ready to show here. I think he got loose right where I said drivers probably would be feeling it.
Getting a replay now.
Oh, yeah. It was a late loose, but he got loose off of exit, and it was a late loose off of exit, and then it was the inside barrier.
Yes, it was. Wow, like really onto the back straightaway. Maybe too much weight jacker, didn't have his ARBs in the right position.
So I want you to notice on track now, Alex Van de Sande, and watch how low he is running on the racetrack. And that's because he is trying to take the absolute shortest way around to save precious drops of fuel. That's the length he will go to make sure that he can save fuel.
Yeah, Alex is a master at saving fuel and knowing the strategies. But yeah, really good run by Caleb here as well, moving up. But Gavin Sanders is our leader. We might have missed that through some action going on.
That we were kind of talking around on that one. I think what happened is that Dakota and Alex got into racing each other, and Gavin just kind of nosed in, found an opening, and worked his way through, and he's now got the lead. In the meantime, I was getting ready to point that out, and I look on the screen, and all of a sudden I see a race first car, and I'm like, well, there hasn't been a race first car there that hasn't. So I was like, whoa, Bency all of a sudden is up 6 spots. So he's the big charger right now, and that's what kind of changed my point of view when I was trying to point that out.
Yeah, I saw that too. we both saw the race first #1 car, and our eyes went there, right?
Yep.
So we did have a few cars hit the pit lane from 13th on. They've topped up for fuel, got fresh tires. Luckily, that Baldwin crash looked like he was all on his own, so nobody else involved in that one. It looks like he's going to get back here on the track, though. Is he going to lose a lap? I'm not sure. Still on pit lane. He's over... Okay, he's just pulling away now, so that was a 57-second stop. Car looks... Visually, it looks okay. His sponsor is Aero Info. So that's his sponsor for this one.
To the shock of nobody, Caleb Benzie is purple with a 24.431. Turns into a speed of 215.166, and he is by far the fastest car by 2 miles per hour.
Drew White back here. This Jeff Gordon Rainbow Warrior livery, actually Dakota made this one. You can find it out there on Trading Paints, I believe. Pretty popular one for the IR18. Obviously, Jeff Gordon's very popular, but really cool looking car on the IndyCar on the IR18. I see Shane is back to his... it's a Western Waves Media, but back to an STP livery on this one. Because he had this black, more black, a little bit of red, maybe flare on the end plates that he was running, but now back to the STP.
Yeah, it's a pretty good look that he has there. It's got a little bit more, I guess, chrome on the striping on the sides. I got a chance to look at it really closely during some Indianapolis practice, and that's pretty slick livery. So it's kind of a crossing of best of both worlds.
Yeah, they didn't do chrome back in the. Back when Chip Ganassi, Vassar, I think that's the livery, right?
Herta, Vassar, Herta.
Yeah. Where are we at here? Pace car's still out. Light's probably going to be going out this time. I think that, okay, lights out on the pace car. I think that we were talking about the VOR livery here, Velocity Online Racing, for Gavin Sanders joining that team. I think he's got a little Canadian flag on the front nose. I said it again. I said it last night. As opposed to the rear nose, we got the front nose of the car. But I can't get a close up. But there might be a Canadian, maple leaf on the front of that car. I know a lot of the Canadian drivers run that kind of thing.
And he also has a sponsorship for Fat Bastard Burritos there.
Yes. It's on there as well. This track has the static cameras. I always like the TV statics. Gives you a sense of speed. Not that we're under caution, it's giving you a sense of speed, but I like to mix with those when they are available. So let me double check. Baldwin, is he out here still?
I show him...
I think he might be out.
I show him gray on one of my scoring screens.
Yeah, that's what he's showing for me, so I think he's out. Okay, as we come back to green flag.
Oh, a little accordion in the back there.
Really slow starts.
Yeah.
Dakota was really slow at the initial start, and that was a slow get going there as well. Sanders leads us.
I think a lot of drivers need to do some practicing and lessons on starts, because the start at the PM18 race today were a little iffy. There was a truck race that I was in, and they botched it at the start. Ooh, Gavin almost clips the grass there. I think he twitched a little bit, and that gives Dakota a shot on the outside there. And trying to take a 3 wide is Alex. Alex way up into the gray.
It makes it work though.
But Benzie gets by. But the TI race, the restarts were absolute murder if you were in the mid pack.
Yeah, you could tell because I was leading and the cautions kept coming out. So you knew stuff was bad back there. Dakota's looking on that outside line. So what I feel like, so going back to another race that I did, it was with the old tire model, but pretty much you couldn't quite make the second line work in 3 and 4, but in 1 and 2 you could make it work. You could make that outside line work here in the IndyCar.
Yeah, and that's the outside line is slightly faster in 1 and 2 because it's banked 20 degrees, and you could bind the car up down low, whereas turns 3 and 4 are still the 24 degree that they originally built with. Or not quite originally built with. The second time it was reconfigured, that's what they have the banking there left over from that. But that's why the high line's a little bit faster in turns 1 and 2.
Yeah. They really kind of like dug into the apron of the track there, it seems like, to make that corner so wide as Dakota. Looks like Bensie's going to look on the outside of Dakota here. Teammates at Team Race First in other series, not here. So they're running on their own here. No teammates here in this series other than you might have friends that kind of help one another here.
Well, this group of 4 is trying to break away a little bit.
Yeah,
There's a bit of a buffer between Van de Sant and Herman back to 4th and 5th there. Dakota right on the gearbox of Gavin.
Yeah, so Dakota was talking to me a little bit about what was the strategy here. Am I gonna, stick in the back for this one and wait for the crashes to happen, or stick in the front? I feel like he's made the right choice in just trying to stick at the front here. The way things have kind of spaced out a bit. I'm sure it's tight, close racing here at the front, but...
Oh, here comes Herman. Herman is back in this fight now.
Yes, he is.
He made up a ton of ground. He made up almost a second.
Oh, he got a little loose. Oh, we got a car.
Oh, car in the wall. Car in the wall. I think it is. We're not yellow yet. We're not yellow yet.
I don't think we're going to have any yellows. We have lots of sparks coming off. That looks like sparks from the Indy 500 this year with Davison. You remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was different kind of sparks, though. All right, well, we're green, and he's going to head to the pits. We would not have stayed green had that been real life, because we wouldn't have want all that junk being thrown on the track.
Oh, that would be a track inspection for sure.
That is right. Dakota's still looking on the outside of Standers here. Yellow flag is out.
Caution is out.
Forsyth, spin at the quad oval, tri-oval. Is it quad oval or tri-oval?
I call it the quad.
Okay, yeah, quad oval. I think he didn't hit anything, though, so let me see. He looks okay. We'll get a replay of this.
I'm going to guess they're going to pit here.
Yeah, I would think everybody's going to pit. We got Adam Nash behind him. I think he's just going to get loose off of turn 4. Yep, that's exactly. He takes a ride through the grass.
This is the Forsyth Landscaping.
Yes, it is.
For all your landscaping needs.
LMCgear.com. All your landscaping needs. All right. Well, he was not going to lose a lap or anything. He's going to learn that whatever weight jacker setting he was running, or ARB setting, is not the one that he wants. The weight jacker and the anti-roll bars. I say weight jacker and the ARBs, but the anti-roll bars. That's
everybody pump fakes. No one. Van de Sant is taking the pit. So is Coogan.
So there's a strategy there. I think that Van de Sant knows that from here he only has one stop.
Yes.
Because he goes to lap 70. And then 70 to 134, I think he gets to the end of the race. So, Alex, as we said earlier, master of the pit strategy, as my camera angle is not very good there. Okay, so Shane also on pit lane as well. So it's not Alex on his own.
Well, if I had to follow anybody, I would definitely be following Alex, knowing what he knows.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I think I would have pit here.
Gavin on his livery there has a slightly different color blue on the nose. It kind of just reminds me of the mismatched Team Menard cars.
I knew where you were going with that as soon as you said it.
It was always like on the second weekend of qualifications where they pull out that car that didn't quite have all the parts, but they had parts from other cars to make a complete car. So it would have like a green nose, a yellow body, and orange side pods. Yeah, that's it.
Well, I think we talked about it in a previous broadcast, but I remember seeing pictures from the inaugural Indy Racing League event from Walt Disney. I think they also were doing similar things that weekend where they were running out of front wings. So, they were putting, I
think Stewart had a set of green ones on.
Yeah. So, exactly.
Someone needs to make a livery of that. That would be awesome. The mismatched Menards car.
Yeah, I always do like the body work. It was like a Lola. It was a Menards body work on that Lola chassis, but I always like the pregnant Lola look. We have over in TI. We have a driver that's running an Oldsmobile Menards livery on the IR18 here. It's got that. It's a Menards livery, but it's got the Oldsmobile from the 97, 98 was when Oldsmobile.
The Aurora. Yes,
the Aurora. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the Infinity that never really did anything.
Yes. I think I'm wrong I'm looking at Sanders' nose, and I was saying it might be a Canadian flag. It's not a Canadian flag. It's something else. I can't tell what it is, though.
It might be his rubber ducky. He has a good luck charm.
I see.
And it's a little rubber ducky. Yeah, that's definitely the rubber ducky.
Okay.
We haven't named it yet. I think we need to give it a name. I'm going to name it Julian.
Okay, Julian the rubber ducky on the front of the car there. Julian not here tonight. I'm not sure why, because he seemed like he was going to make it.
Two more are pitting back there. Who do we have hitting the pit road now? West Shire and Freeze are now hitting pit road. So they've opted to dive in here right before the green.
That's interesting strategy. Maybe just a little bit more fuel.
I think it's a little bit of reconsideration. I'm probably like, I should have went that first time and I didn't.
Yeah.
And it's not a bad idea, so I want to go. And yeah, you get in there before the pits close. So.
That's right. Although I was worried that there is a thing about the pits do close at some point in time, so you got to be careful sometimes to not enter the closed pit.
Yeah, once you make it past the line and you're in and the pit closes, you're good. But if you're hitting that cone right at the moment they go closed, you're kind of hosed.
That's right. And I'm not sure if iRacing would can differentiate if you were to opt to just drive through the pits and not actually take a stop. I think you still, regardless, you still get the penalty. So.
Yeah,
it's just an end-of-the-line penalty as far as I remember, so it's not the end of the world.
And
anyway.
iRacing scoring lately has been a little squirrely.
Yeah.
I was in a truck race, and I think it took like 5 or 6 laps to straighten out a start at the wreck. A wreck at the start right there, right on the first lap. So it's been acting weird. But here they come the green.
Okay, yep. Sanders going to bring us back to the green. The Mustang pace car is going to dive off.
Slow.
Yeah, really slow restarts here. I'm like almost getting Sanders off the screen even though I've got a really high camera. Spreading out. We'll be back. Have everybody real close momentarily. I saw Johnson go high, dropping back. Not sure what that's about. Maybe he was in a wrong fuel mode or something. That can certainly happen. So,
good run by Dakota. Good run.
Really good run here into turn 1.
Problem is, it's wasted on the top side.
Yeah.
Now, if Caleb he could have filled in that missing spot there and probably worked his way past Dakota if he wanted to.
Keep an eye on Van de Zand back there. He's already up to 8th.
Let me go back and take a look at him.
Yeah, I think Lance he's running a high side of the track.
3 wide coming out of turn 2 there.
Shane Coogan on the inside. Who's that in the middle? I'm not actually even 100%. Oh, Cosgrove. back to the front. Dakota working on Gavin there. Dakota gets inside into turn 3. Sticks that nose in. And he's going to lead this one.
And he's clear.
Clear, yep. So he's retaking the lead. I'm not sure he had actually led a lap. I said retaking the lead, but he started first anyway.
So Dakota taking that, not quite the IRL line, but definitely the low line.
Yeah.
Whoa, a little loose there, maybe?
Maybe. I see Van de Zandt's moved up to 7th. So passing a lot of cars, and he's really good on fuel. So... And now he's in 6th. Somebody blinked.
Yeah,
that's why
that was a blink. Yeah, that was a blinker.
Yeah. So Caleb has just got around Gavin as well. You have to wonder if maybe Sanders running that low line of the track might have eaten up some of those tires. Hayden Herman's up to 4th.
Well, hopefully Dakota sees that in his relative, because that might be a sign for him that he might want to go a lane or a half a lane higher. White almost.
Yeah, I saw that right at the end of the back of the camera there. Drew White getting some excitement there.
With that rescue jerk of the wheel.
Yeah, maybe not quite a Code Brown moment, but almost one.
Yeah.
Sanders trying to get inside on Bensi there. Could not quite do it. Dakota's checked out a little bit here.
Yeah, it's got about a 0.4 of a second lead.
Yeah, I mean, it's not really quite checking out, but compared to what we've seen earlier.
But he's Caleb's definitely still well within the draft envelope.
Yeah.
So if he needs to get back up there, he can.
That draft is a 1.5 seconds, so as long as you're within a 1.5 seconds, you should be able to pull up to that guy in front of you. Now, getting around him is another story, but Albi's going to move into the 5th position over Drew White.
I was kind of disappointed. I was hoping that we would see some AJ Foyt liveries and some Johnny Rutherford liveries because they're from Texas, but no, they're not going to be creative this time.
Yes,
he hit the wall. There he goes.
Is he? Oh, okay, he had... Oh, okay.
He had
kept it. I thought he had kept it off there for a moment. But we are under caution. Now you're going to see everybody else is going to pit, and Van de Zandt's going to take over the lead.
Yeah, Alex is going to inherit it. Yep.
Yeah, I think that some other guys aren't going to pit either. Like Freeze is going to stay out, so I think Dakota's going to be 5th or 6th, something like that. Let's get a replay of Drew White here, though.
And again, that was right in that spot that I was telling you about, loose off of 2.
He almost had it saved, though. A really good effort. But he had it saved, and then he had it saved, and then the 3rd time, he didn't have it. So let's do a quick commercial break. Might have a driver interview later as well, so we'll save that one for a little bit later here tonight.
Everybody to pit road except for Alex.
There's 2 types of drivers out there. Drivers who know how to protect their investment, and drivers who don't. Car owners who know how to get more miles per gallon, and owners who don't. We're talking people who know their Schaeffer, and people who don't. Which one are you? From cars to trucks to diesel workhorses, whatever you drive, there's a Schaeffer synthetic oil for you. Do you know your Schaeffer? Ask for it at an automotive retailer near you.
All right, we're back. So that cycle of pit stops. You were saying it, Gary. So Dakota's going to be in 9th, it looks like. So quite a few cars had pitted before, and they're staying out. So Cosgrove hasn't pit at all. Or no, he did on
lap 7.
Okay.
And Mark Johnson on lap 9.
So those guys, I think those guys still, unless we get a bunch of caution, they still have 2 stops to go, whereas I think everybody else in this race has 1 stop to go.
Good to go. Yeah, they're banking on another caution here. They're trying to invest here in track position.
Yeah.
And we'll see if it pays off.
Yeah, I don't really know. Like, again, this is new tire model, and this is unexplored territory for the, for the new tire model. So, don't know what the tire wear is going to be like, as this race progresses. If it's going to be, we saw at Iowa, I think it was, where Forsyth had stayed out with old tires, and he only lasted maybe a lap before somebody.
He actually wasn't even a lap.
Yeah.
Coogan got him on the backstretch before they even got to turn 3.
Yeah.
So 37 of 134 down already. Moving quite
So
along.
little less than 100 laps to go.
Vincey still has that fast lap at 24.264.
Looks like Dakota is up to 8, so somebody in front of him opted to pit. But this is going to be tough for them. They've got some unknowns, like Dakota's been at the front of the field, and so has Sanders for most of this. Caleb at least has an idea, because he started 10th to begin with, so he knows what it's like to come through the field at the beginning. But we've got some unknowns that haven't been at the front of the field, like Cosgrove and Johnson and Lusher. We have some cars that are thinking about pitting up there. Or are they just running the apron just to save fuel or something?
Might be running the apron to save fuel. That's Shire, Freeze, and...
Nope, they're going to come in the pit.
They are all going to pit. Wow, okay.
That's Freeze, too. Right. I don't know why Freeze is pitting, though, because he had pit with Van de Zandt. Maybe he's just trying to avoid crashes and be there at the end if there are some more crashes. I don't know, though.
Discretion is the better part of valor.
Yeah.
So.
I don't think there's going to be quite the big one, though, that you would have at some other 1.5 milers, or what you might have had with the old tire model here. Because I think we're spreading out enough. Yeah. We're spreading out enough that I don't think we're going to see that.
I do like that Cosgrove livery. That Patronus that's pretty slick there, too. I think I've said that before. These guys get real creative with some of these liveries.
Let me have a look at this one. Haven't gotten a good camera angle on it yet. Can we go by now? Yeah, this is a new one, because he was running, I think he was actually running like Marlboro Penske livery before, and now he's running that one. So we'll see how.
Position on the wall.
Yep. We'll see how Alex's experience. We'll see how he starts up the field here. Because we've had some really slow starts. Is Alex just going to do a slow start, or he's going to get us going here?
There he goes.
There he goes. I think that was still earlier than some other restarts that we've had, where they were nearly at the start-finish line.
Yeah, I'm glad he got a good run on it. It really keeps the field from bunching up.
Yep. Spread out so far, but everybody's going to catch back to one another. Dakota's already up to 5th, going for 4th over Johnson inside, so great start for Dakota. Van de Zandt is our leader. Will lead his first green flag lap.
Caution.
Caution is out. Who do we have here? Dakota made it up to 4th. Trying to figure out who we got here. Adam Nash, maybe? He's back at the tail end of the field. Let's go back and see if that's who it was.
Yeah. Hearing sorry, I think it was Forsyth, maybe.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know, that was a little weird. And I don't know if Nash actually hit anything. Let me see. I mean, other than...
Then he spun out again at the start-finish line, so
okay.
I don't know what happened.
Let's get a look here from Forsyth. So yeah, he did have some contact on the inside wall.
Yeah, keep watching him once he regains it. I think once he gets it pointed in the right direction, I think he spins it again.
Okay.
On start finish. Fast forward a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. So Forsyth just looked like he had some room on the high side, and it closed, and then Nash was there. So yeah, we're gonna watch Nash. He might not appreciate us watching it based on what you were just saying, Gary, but I'll keep it on. I know Kresge last week at Pocono wasn't too happy.
But I saw damage. I saw damage on his car. I didn't see damage when he was on the track, but I saw damage on his car when I saw him sideways in the grass on the start-finish line. I wonder what happened there.
Oh, he loses it coming off of 4, and the tire like folds in on itself. There was some tire damage or something from that crash that until he was driving, it broke. Interesting. It was completely fine until that moment.
Yeah, I keep watching it here.
I'm going to go on board with him. Yeah, I think it broke as he went over the grass.
Yeah, you know what? That actually reminds me of when 98 or so when the IRL came here and they had tire problems. Of course, they were still running Firestones and Goodyears.
Mm-hmm.
They're in the middle of the tire war. I forget who it is. I'll have to look it up. But they were coming down to the start-finish line, leading the race, and one of the front tires just totally delaminated. Boof, done. And spun out, and I think that happened like 2 or 3 other times in that particular race, and very reminiscent of exactly what happened there, actually.
Yeah, I don't exactly remember that one, but very odd that haven't really quite seen that. I guess it is something with new damage model, new tire model. Gotta watch out if you're spinning down. I was mentioning that with Forsyth, he didn't take any damage, at least as far as we knew. I think you could take some under tray damage though, spinning through the grass there with all the different bumps that you're going to come through. That is actual grass, unlike Charlotte Motor Speedway, where the green infield is actually just painted asphalt and not grass like you think it is when you're driving there.
So again, Alex going low on the track, everyone else staying high, so he's taking actually the shortest way around, saving fuel.
So Dakota's up. Fresh tires up to 4th. Sanders and Bensy also on similar strategy to Dakota. Everybody basically behind Sanders is on that strategy, but they got around the cars pretty quick there. They got Johnson there. We're going to see what new tires can do versus Van de Zandt and Shane Coogan and Johnson here. Oh, and Cosgrove. Pace car is going to go across the line. Lights are out. Okay, so Alex Van de Zandt and that Happy Trails chili seasoning mix car, kind of his familiar livery right now. Runs it just about
almost
everywhere.
Synonymous with that right now.
Yeah, he is. He's got another one that he runs. It's kind of a white and purple car. I don't know if you've seen that one, Gary, but yeah, that's his other one that he runs. So Forsyth, he didn't lose anything on that last accident. I think that was just a racing incident, is what I saw from that one with Nash. Tough break for Nash. He's on pit lane, but I think that was more related to the grass incident than it was. But who knows? All right, we're about to go green here. They, like you said earlier, assume the position, Gary. I like that. It's
Up
that's
against
pretty
the wall.
Yeah. Getting some cloud cover on the race right now too.
And a good jump by Alex.
Yep. That jump though erases really quickly. At least it will, I think, in another lap or so. At least it did with like Dakota when Sanders was getting those starts. Shane Coogan goes into P2 over Cosgrove. Sanders around Mark Johnson. Now Bensy looking inside of Mark Johnson. Dakota DeMade up there trying to make that move on Cosgrove. Looks like he's gonna make that work. Van de Zandt will lead. Shane Coogan about 5 tenths back from Van de Zandt. Yeah, Dakota seems like he's on a mission here. He's cutting through this field a lot more, or a lot quicker than some of these other cars. But I think yeah, they're all on the same strategy now. I was going to say, I wonder if, I think I would have pit when Alex pitted, and, then he would have been at the lead.
Yeah.
Then. Yeah.
Man on a mission.
Yeah.
All right.
Like we already said, it's on a hot streak, so he knows what he's doing.
I remember when Greg Moore won his first kart race, and then after that, the dude was on fire.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes all it takes is just one.
Well, I hope that happens with me. No, we'll see.
It didn't work with me, but...
So Bensy's having a little bit, or Sanders having a little bit of trouble with Cosgrove back here, and Bensy's going to get around Sanders. And Dakota is pulled up on Shane Coogan there for that second place. You can see, wow, Dakota was pretty loose coming off that turn 2.
Yep. He can take his time. I mean, he doesn't have to.
Yeah, don't need to rush it. I will say that these cars get a lot looser than they used to, but I think these drivers with this new tire model can save it a little bit easier than they used to. I mean, it's still really difficult, but in the olden days,
yes. On the back.
And I think this is the preferred line going into turn 3 and 4 side by side with Shane Coogan. Looks like, unless Shane's going to come back on that outside line.
No, he's got it.
Looks like he's got it. Oh, that was really close.
Slide jaw. Well, remember, loose is fast.
Yes,
loose is fast. Right. So these guys like fast, and sometimes, depending on what kind of equipment you have, too. I mean, certain wheels you can actually feel the car hanging out there on the edge versus other wheels. My new wheel, I just invested in a new. You can definitely feel that on my new. My old wheel did not feel that. You could feel the back end of the car hanging on.
Yes, you certainly can with that podium Fanatec wheel. As Shane Coogan's going to look inside.
In the back, yeah.
Going to take over that second place position. And meanwhile, Alex Van de Zandt there in the lead is running away a little bit, but I don't think he's far enough ahead that he can really count on that. And in fact, Shane's already made up a couple tenths already. Whoa, we've got Cosgrove into the wall on the back straightaway. No caution yet. And there it is.
There it is.
So we'll get a replay of that. After this replay, I'm going to bring Dakota up here. Think that's good?
Yeah.
He said he wanted to, so we'll see what he says. But we'll see. Cosgrove's just, we've seen this crash multiple times tonight. I think we're going to see it some more as the night progresses. Just lose it off of turn 2. Too much weight drag, or too much
get a little too much weight jacker, the car just gets really light there, and the back end wants to come around. Same thing at turn 4.
Yeah. All right, well, I'll pull Dakota up here. We'll see what happens.
Dakota's pitting. No. Oh.
Okay, yeah, I should probably... I accidentally moved myself down there. Hey, Dakota, this is Matt up here on the booth. How's it going?
Howdy. It's going.
So,
I feel...
Alex pit early.
He did.
He did not take that pit. He's taken the lead through that. You've got fresher tires by about 15 laps, but at this point, you guys are on the same strategy. You both have one more pit stop to go. So are you going to be able to make a move on this restart?
I think so. Oof. I wasn't sure what the field situation was, and I figured the only way I'm going to get past Alex is the field game. Shane's giving me a good run right now, so it's going to be tough to get to Alex with Shane in the way there.
Hey, we saw you get a little... It looked like you got a little loose coming off of 2 at one point in time.
I got a whole lot of loose.
But you saved it, and you lived to fight another day. Good run there. Any other thoughts before we let you go? And I guess, Gary, if you got anything to ask him?
No, I just... I guess you've seen a lot of the people that are hitting the not hitting, but they're kind of just getting loose off of turns 2 and 4. Are you feeling that little bit of a twitch? I know you said you got loose one time, and I'm assuming you corrected. Is that you're in a new set of tires now? Are you still feeling it, or is it going away, or what?
Yeah, you definitely feel it if you take a high exit out of 2 and 4. So I've been keeping a low exit most times. That's. Yeah, it kind of feels kind of a little bit like Pocono turn 3, actually.
Interesting.
In the way that 1 and 2 is kind of, I mean, it's banked a little bit more, but you know that high exit will definitely catch you off guard.
Looks like lights are still on the pace car, so we can hold you up here a little bit if you don't.
All
mind.
good. Yeah, of course.
Looks like Caleb Bensey and Gavin Sander is behind you now. That Cosgrove spun, so watch your rear.
Yeah, I know Caleb will put up a good fight.
Yeah, and Caleb at the start of this race, he moved from 10th to 4th in a matter of just a couple
I know.
of laps.
I followed that, and I was like, all right, I'm a good spot ahead of Caleb, and 2 laps later, I'm like, dang it.
All right, well, we'll put you back down in the waiting for interview, and good luck with the rest of this race. We'll bring you back if we get another caution.
All right, thank you.
Yep. All right, he is moved, deafened and moved. So that he doesn't have to listen to anybody that happens to wander in his room. That he's yeah, a good talking to a driver. I think that might be the first time that we've done a driver radio here on the Race First channel. I don't recall doing it before. So,
is our in-car reporter?
Yes, our in-car reporter, Dakota Maid. He's gonna be coming after your job here soon, Gary. Since he's cutting his teeth down there in the Turbo Series, he's gonna be coming for the Cup.
Well, that's what the Turbo Series is there for.
That's right. The lights out on the pace car. 1 lap to go here in the Schaeffer's Cup.
Yeah, Coogan's going to be coming, and when he was talking about racing Shane there and how tough Shane is, Shane has a knack of making his car very wide, and I don't mean that in a negative way. He manages to defend in a way that makes it very difficult for you, and it's going to be, you don't want to waste up the good of the tires just trying to get by one guy. Dakota might have to pick a spot.
Yeah, he fought Shane pretty hard already, so you have to, going back to what you just said, you have to wonder if maybe he did use a little bit too much tire in that battle with him getting loose that one time. So, yeah. We're about to find out here. As we've seen with the restarts, they kind of spread out, and then it all comes back together. And now all the high flyers here are in the top, really top 7 positions. Back to Hayden Herman was quick. I'll be there in 6th, also quick. Mustang pace car dives in.
And not an awful lot of cars left in this race either.
Yeah, that's what we were worried about. Especially if we had a big one in here, and so we haven't had one of those, luckily.
I mean, it's not quite cart. It's not like cart of the '80s or anything like that, but yeah, the car count's definitely
Shane's
coming down.
got a great run here. That is an
Wow.
excellent run. That's the first time we've seen that on, other than maybe the start, on these restarts. Shane takes the lead there.
Like a rocket.
And this will help Dakota because he's going to have good, Bensie's going to look inside.
Oh, and he's got the position.
And he does. Well, Dakota said he knew Caleb would fight him fairly. Well, we'll see what he thinks now. I would assume he has the same thought. He just isn't appreciative of losing a position. That's a racer for you.
Shane is actually shifting gears in turns 1 and 2. He's going from 5th to 4th.
He's snaking down the back straightaway as well. He might get a little bit extra, turn or something with a downshift, but you might not want that with how loose these cars have been off that turn 2 section. He is coming off low, off of turn 2 low, Shane is.
I want to see if Alex is shifting. Alex is shifting into 6th gear right now.
Okay.
Crossing the finish line. He's down in the 5th, down to 4th in turns 1 and 2 as well.
And Dakota's making a position on Bensie back there for 3rd. Actually, sorry, that was Sanders making that move on Bensie for 3rd.
Okay,
and
so what Shane's doing here, and Alex got a good run off of Shane coming off of 4. Shane is going high and off the corner. Let's see what happens here. We got Alex kind of on his. Okay. No, he's just holding the middle line, making Alex pass him on the high side. So there's nothing wrong with that.
Nope. That's as long as the tires are gonna last, that's what you do. Oh, we've got a caution. Appears to be Mark Johnson.
Oh.
So, yeah, you were talking about this livery a little bit earlier today.
That is Greg Bray's, I believe that's his 2000 livery. He won the pole.
Another car loses it off of turn 2.
So he won the pole at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway for that year. And that's the only thing that a regular IRL. After that, it was all Juan Pablo Montoya in that particular race.
Yeah.
That was a boring race. But if you were a fan of the kart, if you were on the kart side of that debate, you were just loving that.
Yeah. Seeing your guys come over and then they might have done. I know Penske had run an early race in those seasons. Did Ganassi do that too, or did they only run the 500?
I don't recall Ganassi do anything early, but I do remember Penske with the Phoenix to kind of shake down the cars and chassis.
Mm-hmm.
I think they kind of treated it as a scrimmage.
Yeah.
So the best way of putting it, and of course, when they came to Indianapolis and they won it as well. So.
And then we talked about this in a previous broadcast, but Penske was also trying different chassis. They bought all chassis available and tried to figure out which one was the best. And
as the old joke goes, because he can.
Exactly. If there's 2 chassis, then you're not required to run one or the other.
No. The only other team that did it back then that I remember was Team Menard. They would have a Dallara and a G-Force, and one was better on a short oval, one was better on a super speedway.
Interesting. The only thing I remember hearing, so on the last time that there were multi-chassis, was a Panos and a Dallara in the IR05 era, the 2003 to 2011, that spec of car. But from what I heard, the Panos were kind of Honda did not want their engines in that car because something about the air intake caused the engines to run, hotter or something like that, maybe caused the engine to wear more. And that was back when Honda was the only supplier of engines, so they wanted those engines to last as long as possible. So they didn't want to be rebuilding them.
Well, if I remember right, the engine manufacturers all were involved with the some aero kits and parts for the aero kits.
Yeah, well,
the next year car.
With you're talking about with the DW12 and then the manufacturer kits. Yeah, they were made by the. Well, the first Honda one was not made by Honda or HBD. It was made by Worth Engineering, and those are the guys that I think they had designed the Virgin F1 car, and they did it entirely on CFD, like the fluid dynamics, that whole thing that they do on the computer. Didn't do any like wind tunnel testing or anything of it. They just like went straight to building it. It had a bunch of issues that first year, and then there was some sort of rule where Honda could do a mulligan, and they got to redesign the whole thing. And so they came back and did have a pretty good. I think Chevy had the better aero kit still, but at Indianapolis, Honda had a pretty good aero kit. So. Until we came back to the IR18 here and went away with the manufacturer aero kits.
Yep.
We're coming up on halfway, just about.
Lots of yellows.
Yeah. There's single car yellows, though, too, so...
Well, I've noticed that the yellows here at this track seem to last. Once the incident happens, I mean, you're going to be under caution for like 5 or 6 laps, and it just seems like this particular track there seemed to be a little excessive. Well, lights are out, so we're going green next time by. But Shane doesn't care. I mean, he wants as many laps under caution as possible. So
yeah. I can tell you in my Indianapolis race, I was fine with the green flag running because I knew that probably nobody could pass me, but then I had to do all those restarts, and that was worrying, but I had my teammates behind me, so I was a little bit okay with that. Lights out on the base car. So we're going to see if Alex learned anything. There was something that Shane figured out on that last restart, how to get a good run. And we'll see if Alex can repay that, what he learned there. Pay it back to Shane.
Coogan, Van Ascent, Sanders, Vinci, and the mate. Those are your top 5.
Some TIVOR Reddit regulars here.
So Shane, okay, about to say, Shane doesn't really care about defending the outside, but he goes right up to the top now. So.
If you leave that open, somebody's going to take it.
Early start. Flag. Big early start.
Looks like Alex doesn't have quite any momentum there. We'll see how it all comes together off of the corner, though. It's getting some right up on him now.
Now there's the momentum right there.
Yep. I don't know how Shane got it so quickly after that restart.
A little snaking down the backstretch.
Yep. I'm going to go on board with Sanders and look at it from here. Get a good view from him. Because either he might make a move here on Van Ascent.
Yeah, he's going to obviously fill that spot that Van Ascent was. Van Ascent's going to have to either finish it off up top or fall back in to concede the spot.
There he goes.
Yeah, he's getting a huge run off of 3 and 4. Gavin Sanders just calls him right on through.
Yep. Gavin's running. He held that low line pretty well there. Just lost some momentum holding that low line, though. Really excellent shots, though, on this onboard. This looks like really shows the viewers here of the pace here, and I could see Gavin just clip that grass just ever so slightly. I've seen Takuma Sato driving through that grass here at Texas on a late restart.
The original driver to actually do it, as far as I know, the first time was Buddy Lazier when Texas, the night race. He did a little clipping. I think Billy Vogt did it as well, and they got the fans all excited about it. And I remember the highlight videos for the next year to Texas IndyCars. They were always showing them clipping that grass.
Yeah. That's some exciting stuff. And Alex, I thought he might opt for sticking that nose in low. And Gavin's got a really good run. I wonder if Gavin's just going to throw it up the inside, though, on Shane. But we'll see. He's kind of getting attacked on both sides, on the high side, and might leave a door open somewhere.
He's making his car wide. You saw right there, he changed position going into down the backstretch, so he had a wider entrance into turn 3.
So all these cars are going to have to pit at some point in time, and we've just had a bunch of cautions, so maybe we're going to have a green flag stops? We'll see. Only 13 cars running, so we might. You know, that's what happens in a lot of these iRacing races. You have a lot of caution, and then the field cleans itself up, and then suddenly you have a really long green flag runs.
Actually, the best seat in the house might be Dakota right now.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking back there, too. But I'm not sure what's going to work in terms of like an overcut or an undercut.
Where's the pit-in rule for these guys?
I would assume it's off of 4. But that's a tough... It's one of these that it's off of 4, but making that work, I hope people practiced it. I remember maybe it was in the VOR race, Velocity Online Racing race at like Michigan or something, or Fontana, whatever we had done. It was really dicey coming off of 4. So I made sure to practice it a ton, but I still was never confident about it. And I was like, okay, when the caution came out, I was really happy that I wasn't going to have to do a green flag stop.
Yeah. I think if you don't practice a green flag stop at least 1 or 2 during warm-ups, that's kind of your fault for blowing it.
Yeah.
If you blow it during the race.
Either getting unsafe entry or getting a speeding penalty. You got to really time that all quite well. Shane Coogan leads here, lap 80 of 134. So we've got...
So we got a bit of a group that's broken away. First through 7th, basically covered by about 2 seconds, and then there's a big gap back to freeze.
Yeah, interesting.
So these first 7 are kind of all hanging out with one another.
And this kind of will tell you that I don't think we're going to get a caution. I don't want to jinx anything, but I think we're spread out enough that. I don't know if I really see much happening in that respect, other than maybe somebody, loops it coming into the pits or something.
You know, you can still expect to see maybe someone clipping the apron, which we see all the time in these sectors. I still expect to see cars getting loose off of
turn 2, yeah.
Off turns 2 and 4 because we haven't gone a full run yet.
Yeah, that's true. You're right about that. And so Van de Zandt and Shane are 60 laps into their stint. But that's had a lot of caution, so they can go plenty longer. But at this point, everybody can pit and make it to the end of the race.
So we think another 10 or 15 for these guys?
I would say 10. I don't know, like, it's a gamble.
They're definitely pitting before lap 100. Okay.
Yeah, definitely. I think this race could be won or lost in the pits. Somebody's saying in the chat that it's pitting off the back straightaway, so we'll have to see how that will be really slow. So guarantee. I mean, you're going to lose a lap regardless of where you're pitting here.
Yeah. Well, and also by virtue of it being enter on turn 3, if you get a car that enters too hot, it can spin out there on the apron or go shoot up the track and it cause a yellow. So
yeah,
it gets dicey at that point. Alex is throwing all sorts of it into the wind. He's like, I'm not gonna try to race with you to move away. I'm gonna try to take that.
He's got to learn how this is going to work going into the late, as this race progresses to the end. Like, can I make a move on this high side? Bensie's about 8/10 back from Van de Zandt up there, so they're losing a little bit to him, but they're still getting some of that slipstream.
Well, remember, these guys are a little bit lighter. Oh, and there's your pit. There's your first pit. Alex in.
Okay, so Alex of Van de Zandt into the pit lane, off of the back straightaway.
Yeah, Shane's going to want to haul big time right now.
Yep. And
I'm surprised that Alex actually pit before Shane. Shane was leading the whole time. Okay, here comes Shane a lap later. A little bit of a wiggle. Trying to bring that car down as fast as possible. Make it around that corner. It's dirty ground down there. Get it down to, there you go.
Locks up the brakes. I will say, with the new tire model, locking up the brakes doesn't seem as bad as it used to be. I used to lock up the rears coming into the pit sometimes, but I don't get that as much as I used to. So Caleb Bensie takes over the lead. I'm not sure the strategy here, like what these guys should do. If we were at Indianapolis or something like that, you would want to pit with those guys, actually. And but here, they're going to lap Van de Zandt and Coogan, and those guys are kind of, if the caution comes out, those guys are going to be a lap down, so they'll be out of the race at that point. So somebody will be a lucky dog, but
my thought typically is you just want to go as long as possible. Just go as absolutely long as possible.
Yeah.
You might get that yellow, I was in a truck race. The TI series actually does a truck series as well, and I had like a lap or two left on the tank, and while a lot of people were ducking for the pits, I'm like, I'm just going to take this lap or two, and then right at 1 gallon or less, we get the yellow, and I'm like, there it goes. You just saved me, because I was definitely going to go down another lap if I pitted, and I made a lap back, so actually it worked out in my case. So I try to go as long as possible.
Mm-hmm. By the way, the information that we had gotten about that back straightaway, that came from Cosgrove. So he's a driver, so he's going to know what the rules were.
All right.
So we appreciate him for bringing that up to us. So Dakota's just kind of sitting back here. At some point, he's going to have to make some kind of move to the front, but looks like these guys are just going to wait it out and try to, maybe they'll have shorter pit stops. Let me look at Alex. Alex had an 8.7 and Shane had a 9.9 second pit stop. So the random number generator that picks your pit time was not kind to Shane. Not the good RNG that he wants.
Well, is that actual work when they're working on the car, or did he maybe not hit his marks?
I from what I understand, there's a lot of randomness to it. It really is like a random number type thing. If you hit it exactly the same each time, you're going to get different pit timers on it. I kind of think it should be based on exactly where you are in the pit box. Like if you're slightly off, then it should be longer. But if you hit it exact, then the pit stop will be the same every time. That's kind of my opinion about it. But this is the way it's been for forever. In iRacing, anyway. So they really put a gap on Hayden Herman here. He's about 3 seconds back from Dakota in third. John Freeze is another 11 seconds back from Hayden. Craig Forsyth 5 seconds back, and now Craig is So Shane and so actually this is odd. Shane had the longer pit stop, but he is ahead of Alex.
He must have had a faster pit in or pit out.
Yeah. Quite a bit.
And Albie's between Coogan and Van de Sant.
So this is big, actually. Like, look how far Shane is ahead of Van de Sant. I don't have the exact timing on it because they're a lap down, but that's pretty significant. It looks like it's about 4 seconds.
So up ahead of Caleb is we got some lap traffic or traffic getting ready to be lapped here. So that's going to impact his aero, and he's probably going to push a little bit.
This is where I'd duck in the pit if I was. There
And
that's exactly the right call there. These team race first guys think alike, huh? Like
Gavin's going to do at least one more lap.
Yeah, so.
And I think he says he's coming in this time, so we'll see.
I would think, is Dakota thinking about it? He's going to stay out? Dakota's going to put for a caution then. Maybe Dakota has been saving fuel up here. He said it earlier. You know, going back to Pocono last week, he was the master of saving fuel. He went really long on his fuel stint there at Pocono, so.
All those little tire bits on his nice new white car.
Yeah. I personally, I love I don't see it on the camera as he ducks off there, but I really like to see the cars with all that tire rubber on them by the end of the race here. So let's see what John Freeze going to stay out here and lead a lap or two.
Yeah.
He's actually, he doesn't need to pit. He topped up, and he actually can go another, at least 10 to 15 laps, I'd say. Not going to get to the end, but he's going to lead for a while.
Is Albie in the same boat there, then?
No, Albie, I think, did he just pit?
Albie, I'm showing pitted lap 88 with Coogan and Van de Sant. So Albie is the guy now.
Are you sure? Because I'm showing him back in 8th. Shane.
Yeah.
So actually Shane is just got ahead of Caleb and Dakota. So Shane at least. Sanders. Sanders is the lead of these guys.
Yeah, I don't know why. On one screen I had me up there, and all of a sudden it changed. So okay, so now you're right. It's Sanders.
But Shane is back there, and then Caleb, and then Dakota. But yeah, something happened with Alex there. I don't know what happened, but he's really far back from this group. So through that cycle of pit stops, something not so good happened.
So we got Freeze. Lewis I got him in second.
So Forsyth and Lewis, I mean, they're going to have to pit, but they don't have to pit for a while.
Yeah, I'd run it out. Just run it out.
Yeah, they've got 15 more laps from now, so I'll take them to lap 120, whereas John Freeze is probably 8 more laps, maybe 10 max. So he'll get to 115 at the most. Caleb making a move on Shane back there. Inside of Shane. It looked like there was some contact. But so far so good. Now Dakota trying to make a move there. Slicing and dicing there. Dakota's getting a really good run on Shane here.
Have Freeze out there all by himself as an 8-second and growing lead right now over Lewis.
So Dakota completes that move on Shane. They're going to set their sights on Gavin Sanders, who's I think Caleb is just in the slipstream. Let me go on board with him. You can see him up there. He's about 1.1 seconds up there, so these guys can work together. I think they can catch Gavin up there. But by the time they catch him, their tires are probably going to be a little bit too wasted.
Yeah, the gap between Lewis and Forsyth is definitely coming down. And there's your fight for second. Freeze is...
Maybe Lewis is trying to save fuel or something. I don't know. He's running... yeah, Sanders is running really fast laps, like a 24.
Whoa! Whoa! Freeze! Loose off of 4, and he's spinning into the infield.
That's going to be a speeding penalty in the pits. But no caution. That is our leader here. I think that's going to be... He couldn't pit.
So that gives the lead to Lewis. Ryan Lewis is your leader.
Ryan Lewis is our leader. I believe he's in a King Taco car. That is a King Taco car. Started 19th, up to first. Club California.
So if they sold sandwiches, would it be a King Hero car?
I don't think King Hero ever led a lap, did he?
not that I know of. And if anyone knows the joke, you know who we're talking about.
Yeah.
He is, I don't know what he's doing, but he doesn't sound like he is definitely as fast as everyone in terms of being under power. He might be trying to
is he running around in full mode 5 or something? Sanders is catching up to these guys, though, so... Yeah, wow, Freeze spinning out from the lead. I'm actually going to quickly get a replay of that. I see that I can get it queued up.
Yeah, Lewis last time by 208.44, 044. Forsyth 208.169, so he's a little bit faster. So Forsyth is definitely closing the gap. But Sanders 214.463, a full 5 miles per hour faster, 6 miles per hour faster than Forsyth.
So, just to quickly say, what happened to John Freeze there? He got loose off of 4. So first car we really seen get loose off. Well, we had Forsyth got loose off of 4 at one point in time. He got loose off 4, went through the grass, and...
Oh! We got Sanders into the wall! Off of turn 2!
Oh, wow. Oh, and Dakota's got hit in that, too. Oh, boy. The yellow flag is out, so this is going to put Bensi, our championship leader, is going to... He might secure it tonight. Oh, boy.
He nailed
I bet Dakota's not going to be happy. I wonder if he wants to be brought up in the booth. I'm going to wait on it for a bit.
He absolutely nailed that wall. He about knocked it down. He just pushed right up into it. I think in an effort to... I don't know why he was pushing. I don't know
Yeah, I'm getting a replay now, so...
I don't know if Bensi was on him. He was by far the fastest guy on the track at the time, I think.
Yeah, wow, he just loses. Oh, man, he hit that wall a ton. And nowhere for Dakota to go with that car sliding back up the track. Let's go.
Lewis and Forsyth get the pit under yellow, so they get that benefit. Alby's coming down with them.
Bunch of other cars are going to take fresh tires as well, I think.
Oh, here comes Van de Sant.
I guess it's fresh tires is what it is. Let me go on board with Dakota. Oh, man. Here. Yeah.
Oh. Oh. And I know what he's saying in the car, like, slow down, go, and you think he could thread the needle, and no.
Dakota is no longer in the waiting for interview, so doesn't have much to say about that.
I don't blame him.
Yeah, that is nothing he could have done.
That might have cinched the championship. We'll have to find out.
Yeah, I would say it kind of did. The only thing that can happen here is Van de Sant. It depends on how old. Like Caleb's gonna have 16 lap old tires. Shane's got really old tires, 27 lap old tires. Hayden Herman's got 16 lap old. Everybody behind, Craig's got really good position here. So he's got fresh tires. He's in 4th.
And these are hand control, Craig.
Yes, this is hand control Craig. So
if he wins, everyone's switching to hand controls next week.
Yep. We'll see next week when he's on the road course. That's where I'm really interested to see hand controls. I think he's been practicing it, though, for quite a while because he knew this was coming up. So, yeah.
All right, somebody's burning fuel. I can hear that familiar sound.
I think it's Van de Zandt.
No, it's further back, yep.
I think it's Van de Zandt, but I'm not 100% sure. Let me go on board. It is Van de Zandt. So we know he knows exactly the amount of fuel that you need to take.
Oh, there he goes, yep. Now, you don't want to do that too much. Now you hurt the engine.
That's right.
It's all be in that IndyCar Racing 1 livery. It's all pixelated. That's really cool.
So it is the IndyCar Racing 1 then?
Yeah, yeah.
Can't quite tell it's pixelated on the broadcast here, but I did zoom into it one time.
If you get close, it's all pixelated. It's all 16-bit looking.
Yeah. Well, we're going to have, let's see, what do we got? Less than 20 laps, so it'll be something like 15 laps to go when we go green, maybe 16. If the lights go out on the pace car here.
These guys up front are not saving gas. Bensie's in first gear, Coogan's in first gear, Hayden's in first gear, Craig's in second. So he's
I think everybody was fine on fuel. I think everybody was fine on fuel regardless of this went green.
So I think we got 9 cars left.
Yep. That is some attrition there. John
That is an 80s kart race.
Yeah. However, there are 8 cars on the lead lap, though, Gary.
Oh no, that's still good. Yeah.
That's not quite the. You need only one. You need only Caleb to be on the lead lap if it's going to be 80s kart race. Maybe 2 cars.
Or it's Caleb and Jose Lee Garza. It's kind of. It's one you expect to see in a lead lap, and the other one's like, "What are you doing?" One to green.
Yep, here we go. This will be the first restart that Caleb has brought us to. But we saw Shane had that excellent run.
Oh yeah, he was like a rocket.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens there.
Here we go. Hopefully for the final time this race.
Yeah. We're going to have a 9 or 8 car shootout here.
Good start by Caleb.
I think Shane's going to have a good run here.
Shane.
He's pulling up.
It's a good run, but he's not. And there goes Caleb right to the bottom and back up to the top again. Oh, Shane almost got his nose in there. Oh, he was thinking about it.
He thought about it.
He thought it, and he twitched it a little bit. Hayden sitting back there in third. There he goes. He got underneath him. Is he going to force it? Oh,
boy.
Wow.
And then,
that was a ballsy move.
Arrow wash on. Craig Forsyth into the wall on the back straightaway.
That was a ballsy move, and we're yellow again.
Yes.
Caution.
Actually, I'm not seeing caution.
I see it on the track.
Okay, now I see it.
Yeah, I see the lights on the fence. All things considered, bravo to his effort, man.
Yeah. Definitely.
So through all that, I'll be up to 4th.
he has had a tough
Lewis in fifth,
season.
Van de Sant sixth.
So if he finished it, if we can get him, I think we interviewed him on the podium in one race this season. But he has really had a tough season. He had tough last season as well. He was strong in a lot of races and just would get caught up in different events.
I think hopefully we'll get green with 10 to go.
Yeah, I think you're about right. I was trying to see if a particular driver was. Sorry, I was unmuted there. For you, anyway. Not for the broadcast. I was trying to see if a particular driver was interested in talking about the race, but they have opted to not do it for now.
Oh, Dakota.
maybe after the race is what the general impression was. So what I did was I muted myself for you, but I didn't mute myself on the stream, so they probably heard me typing on the broadcast. Oops. That's the race first difference there, folks.
Alex is burning fuel again.
Yeah, they've got plenty of fuel.
Yeah, he's doing it
So
again
John
right now.
Freeze, if he gets another yellow, he'll be back on the lead lap.
Wow, yeah.
Because he's lucky dog. That would be lucky dog right there, too. So I think our lights on the pace car. Keep an eye on that, because I was going to go look for Craig's incident here.
Okay.
See if I can get a replay of that while we're not doing anything else. I think he just got high coming off of turn 2, and I think they would have been up to temperature with the tires, though, but sometimes you get that understeer because of cold tires. Yeah, he just a little bit. I mean, Gavin Sanders also understeered up the track as well, so that can happen.
Alex still burning fuel. Don't damage the engine, man.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you can. And the in-car shows if they switch to the second page of the pie, but he's not looking at it. So
Yeah,
apparently.
yeah.
He doesn't care if it's overheating or not. If that's the case.
Yeah, that's one of those things that I generally don't change that display mode on my wheel. Like, very rarely do I ever touch that, where it shows you the actual engine temperature.
So this time by will be 124 laps complete. I think we're gonna go green with about 9 to go.
Yep.
Hopefully.
Only one burning this fuel is Van de Sant. I don't hear anybody else doing it.
Oh, there's someone else out there. Just heard him.
Yeah, I don't hear him at the moment anyway. Lights are out on the pace car. Are we going green next time by?
About time.
Yeah.
I think the cautions at this track, just for whatever reason, last longer than others.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, they've fixed some of that on some tracks, but I think it's on a track-to-track basis where...
Shane trying to burn off some fuel.
Okay.
So, you were in a similar spot on Monday. How are the nerves at this point? Now, granted, this is not a race on equal status of the one that you were in. TI Indy 500 or Indy 250 is actually, it's getting up there in reputation. But what are the nerves like?
Yeah, and there was a ring associated with that race, so
yeah.
My nerves were pretty good in that one. I will say one thing, and I did not like being interviewed during the race, though. They brought me in for an interview while I was under caution, because I was trying to focus, So that I was not a fan of that, because I was 100% focused, but my nerves were okay for the most part. Here we go.
Yeah.
They're really, really close on there, and there goes Caleb.
To go.
Yeah, I bet Chris could kind of hear it in my voice that I was really focused when he brought me up in the booth. So, Shane's going to have a good run here. Just FYI, Hayden, Herman, and Caleb are, we don't have teammates here, but they're buddies here in this league. As Herman looks inside of Shane, Herman does have slightly fresher tires.
No, Herman's almost got in there.
That number 77 car. Trying to make up some ground. Albee back there in fourth is keeping it up as well. And keep an eye on Van Zandt.
9 corners! Oh! I think we had tire contact between Albee Hayden. Albee!
And that, yeah. Oh boy, that's what I was telling you. This Albee, man, really tough break for him late in the race. He's up there in the top 5. That looked like he got loose to me, but we'll see here.
And Hayden and
Coogan
did make contact.
And I
hear them, and I hear they're exchanging apologies. So they're taking it in good spirits, but hopefully their cars are not damaged.
It looked like because of that contact, Hayden and Shane, Hayden slowed up because of that contact, and then Albee just got kind of the tough break on there, and he slowed up too, but the rear end came around on him when he did that.
Yeah, I think you're coming around a point in the turn where you're already kind of light in the rear.
Yeah.
And you
then
come
you
off
lift
the throttle.
off. Yep.
And you're even more light. So Alex did a pump fake, but he did not go. Lusher and Lewis went down to get some new tires because why not?
Yeah, why not when there's only... And John Freese is going to get his lap back.
Yeah, he's going to get his lap back.
We will have a green flag. Yeah, there he goes. Getting his lap back. Hey, let's do a quick final Schaeffer's side-by-side commercial here.
Pay the bills. Yeah.
Pay the bills.
There's 2 types of drivers out there. Drivers who know how to protect their investment and drivers who don't. Car owners who know how to get more miles per gallon and owners who don't. We're talking people who know their Schaeffer and people who don't. Which one are you? From cars to trucks to diesel workhorses, whatever you drive, there's a Schaeffer synthetic oil for you. Do you know your Schaeffer? Ask for it at an automotive retailer near you.
From break. All right, we are back from break. 7 cars on the lead lap. So John Freese.
Well, it's just 7 cars left and 7 on the lead lap, so it's pretty good. All these guys have a shot.
So with 7 cars left, I was going to say the term, but I'm not going to say the actual term. I'm going to say a term that rhymes with it. I would say it's alls to the wall. So with 7 cars left, you just go for it.
Hammer down.
That's right.
I wonder. I mean, we got some guys at the top of the standings that we don't see very often. This is cool to see. I mean, Freeze is not up there very often. Lewis and Lusher. Do they want to go full send it, go for the win, or maybe settle for a good points day and get their best finish of the season or something like that? Or what do you want to do? There's so many different options. If you want to play it safe, you want to go for it. Myself, I'm always a points racer, so I'm looking for someone else to make a mistake in front of me, but I am going to definitely secure where I'm at. But man, if that hole opens up, I'm all in it.
Well, we've got 2 Fawn and Fanny sponsored cars in the first 2 positions. Both Caleb Bensey and Hayden Herman sponsored by that. So we'll hopefully get them in the podium interview, and they'll give a shout out to that.
You still got to question if there's possible damage from the collision. Normally, if you get a green 0X, there's normally some damage associated with it. And I'm for sure they got a green 0X at the very least on that one. So what's going to happen? And Alex needs to probably definitely take advantage of it, but needs to be cognizant of it, because if they have some sort of damage which costs them, they can't get up to speed as fast or just not as fast. You don't want to run up on them and then collect yourself. Or
just we saw it at Indianapolis in this league where cars were damaged and they went back to green. As soon as they went into turn 1, it just snapped loose. So let's see, lights on the pace car. Are they going to stay on?
Oh, they're going off.
They're off, so we're going to have
4 laps to go.
Well, three laps. Yeah, it's going to be a 3-lap shootout here.
It's not an official green-white checker.
Yeah, but it's a legitimate green-white checker.
That's a gimmick. This is legit.
Unless we have another one of these cautions, and then we won't have anything.
Yep. I mean, it's not like they have to worry about sending real fans home unhappy because they didn't see a green flag finish. Jeez, come on.
Yeah. You're saying that our fans aren't real here, Gary?
No, I'm not talking about the people watching the stream. I'm talking about the people actually standing in the stands here. We can just program them to be happy.
I was just happy to hear. So I was telling Dakota about the results of the race last night in the Tuesday Night Thunder, and I told him the results, and he said, "Hey, you spoiled that race for me." And I said, "Wait a minute, you watched the races after, and they're able to be spoiled? Something that I made is able to be spoiled?" So that was good to hear. So I have to be careful with that.
Sweaty palms.
Yes.
High heart rate.
And again, Hayden and Caleb are friends here, so we'll see how long that lasts at this restart.
7 cars. There we go. 3 to go at the line.
Caleb gets a good jump here. I think that Shane's going to have a good run on Hayden.
Well, Shane cannot spend a lot of time behind Hayden. He just can't do it.
Yep. Hayden forces Shane to take the high side around. Those new tires back on Van Zandt not working so far. 2 laps to go. Hayden is defending that position like it's his life, I think, for this. So he wants to get this. He has been, I don't remember what race it was, but we did talk to him on the podium earlier in the season.
Here we go, white flag.
White flag.
Could this be the week for similar team cars to go 1-2 in mini races this week?
That's right.
We'll see.
And Van Zandt with those fresh tires not going to do very much.
Turn 4. You can see it going now. Checkered flags are out.
Checkered flag. Caleb Bensey wins here in Texas. Let's see who else we got. Oh, we did actually have a crash there at the end. Lusher.
Oh.
I don't know exactly what happened.
I wonder what happened there. I was watching the leaders.
Yeah, I just was going back to see him across the finish line, and he was in the wall. Let's see. He was fighting with King Taco, Ryan Lewis. Oh, actually with John Freeze. John Freeze gets a good run.
So Bensey, Herman, Coogan, Van de Sant, Lewis in 5th.
Okay.
Freeze and then Lusher.
Well, we will get some interviews going here.
Donut time!
Yeah, let me switch over to that real quick. I'm missing it. There we go, we got it. Well, Caleb, after starting 10th, has to be pretty happy about this one.
Yeah,
he doesn't usually qualify that far back, so.
Right, and in many ways, this could have gone really bad for him.
Yeah. Well, we'll be right back and bring up the interviews. Set this up. All right, we're back. Let's see if we've got anybody in the waiting room waiting for their interview. I'll go ahead and bring Shane up here. He's already in the waiting room there.
And then I split this.
I accidentally brought up. Okay, we got Caleb now. Hey, Caleb. Matt up here in the booth with Gary. Great run. You started 10th. Not the best qualifying for you here this season, but your start was pretty amazing, and I wasn't exactly watching you, and then suddenly you were in third.
We all noticed you.
Yeah.
Yeah, the qualifying. I spent the first lap just building up momentum, so it came down to just one lap, and I just completely missed the bottom of turn 1 and 2. So just along for the ride, and that was definitely disappointing, but. Yeah, those first, 5 laps are probably the scariest but best laps of my life. I mean, everyone was driving so hard that they were drifting off the bottom, and I roped the white line all the way around from entry to exit and just blowing past cars 3 wide and stuff. So definitely worked out. Obviously, then everyone else kind of chilled out and took my line away. But, yeah, I mean, that was just a wild race.
A lot of caution, but...
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure on this, but there's a possibility. I will let people that know better than I do. You might have clinched the championship here. I think you did, but some people that are better at math would have to check that than I would.
Yeah, I'll have to look into that too. I don't know, but yeah. I didn't see what happened with Gavin and Dakota there, but I saw Gavin get into the wall, and he came back up, and his car disappeared, so I didn't know where he was. And then he came, and I think he missed me by like a foot or two, but thought my championship was going to be in more jeopardy after that one. But
yeah, it was a really tough break for Dakota. Basically, Gavin understeered up, hit the wall, slid down to the inside of the track, bounced off that, came back up, and then Dakota had nowhere to go. So tough break for the Dakota there. But
the good news for Gavin is that he can take up wall demolition as a pastime, because he was trying to do everything he could to knock down that wall.
Yeah, he did.
He was getting close all race too. I was, with the dirty air and stuff, I was trying to keep leading him up there a little bit more, but he finally did it without my help. But yeah, that was, you're carrying so much speed when you hit the wall. The reflection has been pretty big. So.
Well, imagine this is the kart race that they had to cancel because they were running 235 to 240 kind of laps here. You can see why they had to cancel the race with speeds that were 20 to 25 mile an hour faster per average per lap than you guys are running here. But congratulations on winning the race here, surviving this show. Any shout outs to sponsors, to people watching Fawn and Fanny on that car?
Yeah, obviously, thanks to you and all of Race First. The broadcasts are obviously pretty great. My grandma was just telling me today how much she enjoys these broadcasts specifically. So, also, then Fawn and Fanny, Ant's company in Northeast Ohio. You can check them out online. Custom body care, lotions, hair gel, everything. At fawnandfanny.com. And I know both sets of grandparents are probably watching right now. So, thanks to you guys and whoever else, family and friends are watching. Glad we can get a win. That was definitely at least from my perspective, when you take out the cautions, that was a very fun race. So
yeah, it looked fun out there.
yeah, for sure.
I think doing it in the daytime was kind of an interesting choice, and I thought that was, that's a good choice for these cars. Usually they run Texas at night, so
Yeah.
it's a little bit different race.
I honestly had very low expectations with practice. I mean, it seemed hard to follow at all. And when you get a big group of cars out there, it raced really well. It was kind of like that mix we were talking about when we were at Indy, where it was hard to pass, but it was possible. So,
well, let me give you some historical context here. If indeed you have clinched the championship,
okay.
The last time a real life IndyCar driver went back to back, and in this case, this driver went back to back to back, so it may be something that you can shoot for next season. Was Dario Franchitti in 2009, 10, and 11. It's been 10 years since IndyCar has seen a back-to-back. Then we've seen like Dixon win one year and not the next, and then win the next. But he's never won back-to-back. It was as Franchitti was back-to-back-to-back. He went 2009, 10, 11, so 10 years.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. It's definitely been the season's went very well, to be completely honest. So, yeah, I mean, who knows? Obviously, want to finish out this year strong and look to next year.
Well, next week, Road America. I'm sure you're going to enjoy that one. Going to be battling probably with Gavin and Dakota and Alex and up there on that.
Yeah, I actually just did a few laps for fun yesterday, and I think my new brake pedal finally clicked for me. So I'm hoping for a really good showing because I felt very, very good all of a sudden. So hopefully that translates.
Well, sounds good. We'll see you next week. Take care till then.
Thanks, guys.
Yep.
Congrats, champ.
All right, we'll bring up Hayden here. Hey, Hayden, this is Matt up here in the booth with Gary. Congratulations on your second position.
Thank you.
Tell us about your race. You actually, so I know you're buddies with Caleb. You out qualified him here. So you clicked with the qualifying more than he did apparently. Tell us about your race though.
Yeah, I got lucky qualifying because I hadn't run anything that fast all practice. And then early on, I had a scare coming out of 2 and got sideways, but then cautions kind of shuffled us back, and it was just a matter of getting back to the front. Pit strategy played a little bit into it, and definitely talking to Caleb helps during the whole time. He's always giving me the expert info.
Very good. Well, any shout outs you want to give? Any people watching your sponsor there, Fawn and Fanny, on the car?
Yeah, Fawn and Fanny. I'm sure Caleb mentioned something about it, but DIY Body Care in Northeast Ohio, they got a website. You can order from them, and yeah, shout out to my family. I don't know if they're still awake. They might be asleep. Shout out to my girlfriend's family, and yeah.
Sounds good. Well, next week we're going to be at Road America. Any thoughts going into there?
I do not strive there. I'm not very good at that course, but just recently a new set of pedals and a new wheel might help me a little bit.
Very good. I know Caleb's also got a new set of pedals. He just was saying that he finally thinks they clicked with him. So I will say, just from my own experience, so the new tire model is a lot different than Road America previously in the IndyCar. So definitely need some more practice than usual going into that with the new tire model. So we'll see you next week. Good run here, though, Hayden.
Yep. Thank you. Have
Congrats.
a nice night.
Yeah, you
Thanks.
too. All right, we'll get Shane Coogan here up in the booth, our final podium finisher. How you doing, Shane?
What's up, guys? Pretty good, I guess. We'll take that. That was a long race, and that was a tough race, but I guess we'll take third.
Yeah, and like Caleb, Caleb didn't have the best qualifying position, and neither did you. You started ninth, and but you made it up there pretty quickly. Led some laps. I don't know if it was really tough to pass anybody, but you.
Oh, it was so hard. It was so hard. Caleb and I definitely both messed up. I messed up my second lap, and I knew it was going to be a long day after that. Because I think we were probably going to be up there, but yeah. And then at the start, I was pretty impressed. He took off and really had a good tear to the front the first 10 or 15 laps, and I think he got up to about third or fourth. I really struggled because I mostly just did some running in clean air and didn't really know what was going to happen in turn one. And man, you just were just wishing it through turn one, and the thing would just slide.
But you had one restart that you were shot out. You were like shot out of a cannon. You were like a rocket. I forget
if you got it just right, you could get a run on somebody, but it was all about the restarts, and I think that's what Caleb kind of showed me early.
Yeah, you passed someone on a restart, and we were making.
I think it was Sanders, but I'm not 100%.
Yeah,
sure.
You were like a rocket. It was like wow. And then now all we were saying is like if he could replicate that again on other restarts, we were always kind of expecting it, and it just never quite developed. That one time
I was trying.
That one time so everybody like caught up. It took a lap for them to catch up to the leader from that second position, but this one you were caught up coming out of turn 2, and you were passing down the back straightaway. So whatever you did there was like the perfect restart. I don't know what you did differently, but certainly visually was better.
Don't lift. Yeah. Don't lift. No, that was I can't remember who it was. Maybe I think Alex Vanasan and I had a pretty good battle because we were kind of on the same strategy. Early in the race, I just could not really get around people, and I think 20 laps in, he dove in. I decided to follow him in, and then we cycled to the front, and we're on a slightly different strategy. But yeah, we had a pretty good battle. After I came out on that last green flag stop, though, I got just ahead of Caleb, but I think Gavin beat me out. And once I got in his dirty air, I knew I was going to be in trouble. So that was kind of the deciding moment, I think. But yeah, it was just a survival race. It was just a lot of grip and really hot out there, hot and greasy.
Yeah, we kind of could tell from the practice session that there was a lot of struggle, a lot of cars having trouble off of 2 and 4. I don't know if I expected as much attrition as we ended up having, though. But, that's the way it goes. I think with the race being during the daytime, I said this with other people as well, it just kind of a little bit different Texas race than it might have been if it was at night. But I think it's pretty interesting, honestly. So
it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. And we could kind of race with the setup, at least the first few people in line. I think, daytime, it just, you're either roasting the right front or the right rear. So I think nighttime you might have been able to race a little bit closer. But yeah, up front, you could run pretty close. But yeah, once your tires wore out, you're just hanging on.
Well, good run here. Next week will be Road America. Any thoughts going there?
Love that place. It'll be there's lots of time you can find around Road America and lose. So have to be ready for it. But yeah, hopefully we can. One guy we needed to beat tonight, Caleb, couldn't do that, and I think he'll probably run away with it. But we'll give it our best shot.
Well, Gavin will be real quick, I have to imagine.
I'm sure.
And I said this to other drivers, but I know with the new tire model, I really feel that Road America drives differently than it did with the old tire model. It seems quite a bit slower, actually. You guys, I just recommend probably doing some more practice for this for Road America next week. But hey, any shout outs to sponsors, friends, family watching, that kind of stuff?
Yeah, shout out to anybody watching. I think my buddy Alex might be watching. I don't know if he made it this long, but
somebody did say go Coogan. Yeah, that's right. Alex Rhodes.
So cool. Thanks, Alex. I'm trying to get him back into iRacing. He's actually a pretty darn good racer. So maybe I'll try to rope him in. But yeah, shout out to him, friends and family, my brother Tyler. Obviously, RIL, Raceverse, Schaeffer Oil. Thanks, Matt and Gary, for the broadcast, and Western Waves. And we'll keep rolling here.
Sounds good. Well, good show there, Caleb. Congratulations on the 3rd. I do think you have the most wins in this series, by the way, this season. So,
gosh, yeah. If not for, I would have had 3 in a row. If not for that, Dakota beat me at Pocono. But
yeah.
This
is on a bit of a roll between Velocity Online and hitting here, and he's doing really well right now. So.
He is, man. There's some pretty hot drivers right now. I feel like I've been on the back foot a little bit. Indy, congrats on your win in Indy, by the way. That was a textbook run, and that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm hoping to have some momentum off of that win. I'm certainly have some extra kick in my step right now after that.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Well, you have a good week, and we'll see you. Well, I'll see you on Saturday, I guess, in VOR, and Gary would too. And but we'll see you back here on the broadcast next Wednesday.
Cool. Yeah, I got some unfinished business in Pocono, so we'll see you guys there.
That's right. Yeah, it is Pocono. So
hey, don't take it out on me, man.
Different Pocono, though. Different Pocono.
I know, different Pocono.
Different Pocono. Probably a little more grip.
Although, okay, yeah, I'm thinking because then TI is going to be back to Legacy Pocono at some point in time. I don't even know.
TI will be a new Pocono.
Oh, okay. Was that confirmed? All right. Sounds good.
I believe so.
Cool. Well, yeah, I'll see you guys there, and thanks again. Appreciate it.
All right.
Sounds good.
Take
You have a good
Congrats.
one. Later. All right. Well, let's finish this show up. We'll run through the grid and finish off. Any final thoughts there, Gary?
All right.
Bring it up.
Bring up the grid here. Looks like Ryan Lewis actually did gain the most spots. He went from 19th to 5th, so plus 14 for him. John Freeze went from 16th to 6th, so plus 10 for him. And Forsyth actually went from 13th to 9th, so not too bad starts for some of these guys. Not too bad difference in the positions made up. Anytime you can make up a large number of positions from start, I always consider that a good day.
All right, so going through the results, though, Bensi first, as we know, Hayden Herman, Shane Coogan, Alex Van Zandt, that gamble to take new tires there on one of the pits didn't end up working out. He moved up a few spots, but didn't get back up to the podium. Ryan Lewis, though, great run for him, that King Taco car. John Freeze, great job getting back up to the lead lap. A little bit lucky there. Led some laps, though, so good run by him today. Neil Lusher in 7th. Christopher Albee, kind of innocent bystander on that slight contact between Herman and Coogan there. Just loses the rear end off of 2. Craig Forsyth, Gavin Sanders, Dakota DeMade, Wes Shire, Angelo Espo, Mark Johnson, Matthew Cosgrove. Finishing it off here. Adam Nash, Drew White, Nicholas Isidro, and Connor Baldwin running on our field. A little bit smaller field tonight than we might have liked, but great race otherwise.
Looks like Gavin had the fastest lap at a 24.225. And I'm looking at the laps led, and it really just tells the story of the race.
I bet it's all over the place.
Of the 4 that led the most laps, it almost mirrors the quarter of the race, each quarter of the race. So Caleb was late. Van Zandt was there early. Coogan and Sanders were in the middle. So it kind of mirrors when those guys were leading and a quarter of laps. All of them have about the same number of laps led, 25, 26, 29, 31. That's 31 laps for Caleb, 29 for Coogan, 26 for Van Zandt, and 25 for Sanders. And it's about a quarter of the race, each one of those. And definitely it just kind of tells the story of each quarter of the race, who, what, and who was leading. So I just find that interesting, but hey, sometimes the best way to finish is just to survive. So those that manage to just get there at the end, congrats. So sometimes you're just not battling the people around you. You have to battle the track, and it was a tough track.
Yeah, it was tough, hot track, and we saw those drivers having issues coming off 2 and 4, and but really good race here. Really enjoyed watching it and broadcasting. Thank you, Gary, for joining us here. We'll be back. I'll be back here tomorrow for the BMW series that I cover, but we'll be back here 1 week from now for Road America, and then the week after that, finishing it off the season at Gateway, some also known as Worldwide Technology Raceway, but we won't go too much into that.
Gateway,
That's what I was talking to Dakota about that before, and I was saying, just call it by its real name. I know the sponsors, but we don't have to call it that.
No.
All right, you guys out there, take care of yourselves, and we'll see you here next week.
Good night.
Ever since I've switched to Schaeffer's oil, I've never had a reason to even try anything else. And that's one thing that I'm proud about, is the fact that I can't tell you how good something else is, because I know how good Schaeffer's oil is. my engine builders, Tony and Glenn Clements, have said about the oil we run. They've told us that out of all the motors that they get and rebuild every year, ours looks the best, and a lot of that has to do with the oil that we run. One of the things that I love about Schaeffer's Oil is the fact that all of their reps are out in the field and at the racetracks with us, seeing what all the racers need, seeing what ideas we have or anything that we can improve on. And you just can't beat the customer service of having a rep for, one of the main components of our race team, whether it's at our engine oil, transmission fluid, rear end oil, having somebody there that represents that brand and also gives us support and also the knowledge that we need to be making the right calls and just helping us out with our entire racing program. It means a lot to our race team to have that. My name's Chris Ferguson, and I drive the number 22 dirt late model. I've been using Schaeffer's Oil racing products since 2009. I absolutely have no doubt that we're using the best products that is possible for dirt late model racing.
You're blind. You're trying to escape from here, aren't you? I want to see how far you can make it before your head is chopped off. Good luck not getting killed.
There's two types of drivers out there. Drivers who know how to protect their investment and drivers who don't. Car owners who know how to get more miles per gallon and owners who don't. We're talking people who know their Schaeffer and people who don't. Which one are you? From cars to trucks to diesel workhorses, whatever you drive, there's a Schaeffer synthetic oil for you. Do you know your Schaeffer? Ask for it at an automotive retailer near you.